Because what version of human you took, right?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
You guys took feats?
More stats, or, yeah.
Fuck, I
Like,
did do
what's
that.
wrong with
I
you
didn't
people?
think about adding that until... Shit. Yeah, I'll be doing that in the background.
Everyone in their feats. Shame on you.
I'm not getting actor either. From
Yeah, I didn't show it anywhere in the compendium or the quick
weird.
insert.
All right, well, I'll just make you one real quick.
I mean, if I recall correctly, I think the one I took gave a half feet boost. I can't remember. I have to look at my notes. Oh, so I think maybe I'm coming in low.
Maybe it doesn't apply. I mean, Reed's not a great actor.
Did actor get boosted on our server? I don't think it did. I think actor was pretty good as is. Actor's kind of like illusion spells. If your DM is actually willing to put in the work, actor becomes very important. If they don't really care, then actor's not that good. So.
I think you did boost it.
Oh, did I?
Or something similar?
Checking.
All right. Well, for now, I just made you a basic actor feat to remind us that you have it. All right.
All right.
So you good on sound? We're ready?
Yep.
All right. Okay. So what we're going to talk about first is going to be a little bit of a session 0, just a little bit. We've had plenty of time building up to the game to handle a lot of Q&As that might have come up. I sent out a consent survey. So the first game I've sent out a consent survey for, if you're familiar with some of my other more problematic games like Skull and Shackles, I don't know if Skull and Shackles could exist if we had sent out a consent form. But for this game, I was advised that you definitely need a consent form because a lot of messed up stuff happens in this campaign. A lot of messed up stuff happens in Odyssey. I didn't send out a consent form for that. Probably should have. Anyways. So it's been very eye-opening for me to see what people like and don't like, what people can handle and what people can't handle. My kid, who is much smarter than me, looked at the form that I found online because I was too busy to make my own consent form, and said, the smiley faces really... they're confusing, and it's
that threw me off.
Yeah, and it sends a confusing message about it, right? Like, super big happy face about child brides? Question mark. Like, who's ever going to say that? So they came up with a much smarter way of interpreting it. I'm gonna tell you what that change was, and if that changes any of your responses, then definitely let me know as we go over the stuff. I'm not gonna specifically call anyone out on any particular triggers because that is your business, but I did group together the things that were asked to be avoided altogether and minimized. So essentially, if you have the biggest, happiest face, so capital D, that means that you grew up a horror kid. Your parents took you to inappropriately aged movies when you were very young, and your brain broke in some way, and you think that horror is really cool, and you want that stuff, right? So
that's about right.
Right. So as you were hitting all those big happy faces for all that horrible stuff, I wasn't like, well, I'm never staying at that person's house if I go to a convention. I made the assumption, maybe incorrectly, that you're just a horror kid, right? And so you like horror, so that's why you put horny for horror as the big happy face, right? So then there's the normal happy face, right? So the normal happy face means I can handle this. That's all. It just means I can handle this. It doesn't mean this makes me smile. It doesn't mean when I think about these horrible things happening, I'm into it. It just means, yeah, it's a horror game and I can handle this. You can use it as much as you like. I can handle it. Now, the big happy face, the I'm horny for horror, that means that you want that stuff. You want me to pour extra chocolate syrup on your sundae. Like, that's what you are here for. You're here to see that stuff. I will say that some of you did put the big happy face on some items, and as long as it doesn't conflict with others, I will try to lean into those tropes when they present themselves. But the regular happy face just means, yeah, I signed up for a horror game, I can handle it. Then there's the unhappy face. The unhappy face means I don't like this thing, and when it shows up, it's going to make me uncomfortable, and I don't want you to make it a focus of a scene, right? So if you are unhappy about about child brides, and I mean, who isn't? I don't say, yeah, and then she sits in his lap and bounces up and down in her little Lolita costume. I'm not going to do that, right? Because you have said, I don't like that. But I'm not going to completely remove it from the game. Now, if you picked the super unhappy face, that means I can't have this in the game. That's what the super unhappy face means. It means that something has happened to you in your life that if I were to have that in the game at all, you would be unable to play. Like, it would mess you up. So that is what the far right-hand side super unhappy face means. So I need to address any of those no's before we start the campaign, because I need to make sure that you actually meant, like, I can't have that in the game. Otherwise, it falls into it can be in the game, but I don't like it, and I don't want you to focus on it. You can mention it in passing. You can say that that person got tortured, but I'm not going to sit here and listen to you to describe them being tortured, right? That sort of thing. So, the number one thing that everybody had an actual no on, that the most people had actual no on, is on-screen sex. And let me tell you, as all of the NPCs in the world, thank you. I don't want to have on-screen sex with any of you. On-screen in this turn.
That's what secret chat's for.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what DMs are for.
Well, yeah, that's what the secret Patreon's for. But listen, if you said no on that, that's totally fine. If you don't know what that means, it means that there are D&D groups out there that describe spicy scenes in detail, and they kind of role play and improv those scenes together. If you are interested in those kind of groups, I will send you, links after the game, but I don't run one of those games. Volpe and I had briefly considered co-DMing a game like that, but decided not to. But basically, yeah, spicy games do exist, and they do stuff like that. We're not going to. So just putting that out there. There were multiple requests for no romance or sex with other PCs. This is another thing that a lot of people get together for D&D, and they get horny on each other. Critical Role likes getting horny on each other. You guys, I'm just putting it out there. Nobody wants to be your fantasy boyfriend, girlfriend, or other. So you are free to pursue romance with other people in the world, just not the other player characters. I would even say that with the companions technically not being player characters, they are all NPCs. I guess they're available for romancing options, but you guys cannot romance each other. So that is something that was almost unanimous on the thing. Nobody can get pregnant. Looking at your 5 characters, I'm going to say that's probably a good thing. So no player pregnancies. We are going to avoid any sort of rape, sexual trauma, suicide, and self-harm. So I had a no for this from somebody, and I need to know, does that mean 100% I cannot mention that at all during the campaign, or can it be mentioned in passing? A good example of this is in Odyssey of the Dragon Lords. There are some very Greek moments in the background, and even though I have a no rape policy in my games, it does get mentioned that rapey stuff did probably happen at some point, to sort of cement that this particular person is a very bad person, or this particular person has had terrible things happen to them that sort of motivated them to do the things that they do. Or do I need to completely remove that stuff from the thing? If you are the person that did that, please message me whether or not I need to completely remove that stuff or not. I talked to somebody already that had put a hard no for harm to animals. Animals are going to get hurt in this game. You guys are going to have horses to pull your wagons. There's going to be pets. There's going to be horrible, evil stuff, corrupting things. I can't guarantee that animals will not be harmed in this game. But based on many replies, you guys want minimal harm to animals and children. So we will not go into any strong details about the horrible things that happen to animals and children, but they will still happen. But it'll just be like, and the children were dead. Like when Anakin casually talked about murdering children, which he did a lot. We just won't go into morbid detail about it. And I think that covers all the hard no's. So now that you understand this system, if you need to switch your avoids to absolute no's, message me as quickly as possible. If your absolute no's can be moved to a barely talked about, try to avoid them, but off screen, fade to black kind of stuff, let me know, so that I can kind of adjust things. The first adventure of this campaign, it hits every problematic theme you could ever hope for in one adventure. So it's kind of a good litmus test of like what is going to be okay and what is not going to be okay in the campaign. So if you have played Death House before, which I don't doubt some of you have probably played Death House before, please try not to spoil Death House for the people who have not played it, because I didn't change it too dramatically from what it originally was. There was some tweaks, of course, but it's still pretty much the same thing. And if you know about Death House, then you know that, yes, it has just about every problematic thing you could possibly imagine in it. It's a very messed up adventure. All right, so any last minute things about consent, one way or the other? All right. I have on my DM screen, because Foundry has a DM screen, I do have the consent thing as one of my top items, so I can constantly remind myself of what things are okay, what things are not okay. There was also some stuff about homophobia, racism, and sexism. Good news, Strahd is a horrible bastard, real son of a bitch, real bad dude. However, he is bisexual / polyamorous. He doesn't give a shit about the color of your skin. And Strahd himself doesn't even care about your race. I guess because that, I guess he's a little pansexual too. And then the sexism, even in the old-timey novels they wrote about Curse of Strahd, there were strong-ass bad bitch women. So sexism was never a theme in Ravenloft. So there is some racism in Ravenloft in so much as, are you human or are you not human? Because almost everyone in Ravenloft setting is a human being, or at least this particular Ravenloft setting is a human being. There are elves, but everything else is considered other and is viewed with superstition and suspicion. But you guys are all starting as humans, but that does mean that if you take some dark deals or things like that, grow horns, grow 6 extra eyes on your face or something, people are going to treat you differently. That is going to happen. But to just outright real world racism, that's not going to be an issue. And sexism is not an issue. And these are lonely, sad times in Barovia. You take any sort of comfort you can get. They're not going to shame anybody for who they love and who they're with. So none of that's going to be an issue. All right. So let's see. What else do we need to cover in this quick session 0? I am trying to run this Curse of Strahd game to be very, very difficult, because the difficulty will make it scarier. One of the complaints I heard about Curse of Strahd is that it starts scary and it ends very traditional 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign. By removing magic, for the most part, that will certainly help, but we have gone further than that. So, we're using the World Patch document, which means that there's a huge boost to pure martials, which are martial classes that don't have magic, which is probably all of you. So you're definitely going to want to become familiar with the World Patch document and what benefits that might have for you. Features that we have in this game. There are 2 additional stats, honor and sanity. So honor is serving as sort of the humanity stat, which if you've played World of Darkness, basically humanity is the control you have over your character before the dark forces in your life take over. If your honor ever drops to 0, your character is no longer playable. You will become an NPC that is working actively against the party. So please try to live a mostly decent life, because your honor will go down the more depraved acts you do, the more desperate deals you make. As you sort of compromise yourself and your values, your honor will go down. Sanity is straight out of like Call of Cthulhu, and essentially you will face things that are difficult for your mind to understand. You'll have to make sanity saving throws sometimes, sanity checks sometimes when you face these otherworldly horrors, and failure will cause your sanity to go down. Sanity can be restored with magic, which you don't have access to, but also when you level up, you can increase your sanity to kind of show that as you are growing stronger, your mind is also growing stronger as well.
I was about to ask that, honestly.
Yeah. But sanity without magic is going to be very hard to get back up once it goes down. So those are, whenever I ask for a sanity check or a sanity save, if you have DM inspiration sitting around, not a bad idea to use it for something like that, because that will have a permanent impact on your character moving forward. If you ever run out of sanity, your character becomes too insane to play and becomes an NPC, and you lose the character. All right. Other mechanics.
I know how that works. I've gone insane.
So, speaking of losing characters, well, actually, speaking of insanity, I took the time to make many of the insanities, which just calling it insanity is also problematic, but the mental disorders that your characters can develop by going insane. I have developed actual mechanics for them, because I know that leaving it entirely up to role-playing can leave a bad taste in some people's mouths. Some people try to evil genie their way out of it and do the minimal amount of role-playing, or role-play the flaw in a manner that would be beneficial to them rather than detrimental to them. Some people lean into it, and maybe they go too hard on the insanity to the point that it becomes detrimental to the rest of the party, and the rest of the party becomes bitter at that person for hamming it up too much on that insanity, and then kind of costing the party their lives. A young Crash Gem got fear of water, and when it was raining, I cast Fireball on the party to protect them from the rain, and they all got really mad at me. So these things do happen. So yeah. What about dying? What about when that fireball does go off and kill everybody? So, everyone starts the game with one fate point. The fate point can be cashed in when you would die to not die. What happens is, like the famed Lydia, you take a knee for the rest of the fight, and then after the encounter is over, Sherlock Holmes style, you miraculously survived. You could explain to us how you survived, or not. Doesn't matter. All we know is that fate saw fit for you to survive that encounter. So to make it a little bit more spicy, when you cash in a fate point, we roll the roulette wheel of doom, and you get 3 different things. One is a chance to die, but to go out in a blaze of glory. So that means that you can choose to die with your fate point, but you'll do something awesome on the way out, like buff all your allies, or drop one big fat critical hit before you go, or something like that. Then there'll be 2 other options that involve not dying and living, but you will live with some sort of detriment or diminishment. Essentially, this is called diminishing returns. The more you die, the worse you are, as you just wear yourself out. The idea is, how far can you go before you just can't go anymore? Before death looks like a gift, right? So I don't know if your characters are all going to make it to the end of the campaign, because you might die a lot. You might die once, but the thing that happens to you when you die is so horrible that the character just feels unplayable. You can at any time retire your character if you feel that the darkness is too much for them to handle, or they have become what you feel is unplayable. What happens if your modern day character dies or is no longer playable? What would you do instead? So you will have the option to activate any of the available companion characters, unless they are the original companion characters of another person who does not want you to do that. Does that make sense? So whatever companions you've recruited, or the companion you started with, you can take that character over. They will be leveled up into an actual playable character instead of just a companion, because companions are NPCs and they don't have as many options and abilities. If none of the companions are appealing to you, you will be able to make either a Vistana, a Barovian, or a Dusk Elf. none of them will be able to be spellcasters either, because the lack of magic is not just because of the world you're from, but just because in Barovia, the weave, as it were, is controlled by Strahd, because Strahd is the land and magic flows through the land. And it's in his best interest to make sure that there aren't a lot of strong spellcasters. So the spellcasting would still be kind of off the table. So do not think, like my friend Remy, that dying very quickly with your real world character will allow you to make a Dusk Elf wizard, because that's not what happens.
Wow.
Yeah. And let me see. Stress. We're using stress from Van Richten's. Stress has to be the most punishing and terrible thing I've ever seen for 5th edition D&D, so of course I had to add it to this game. How stress is going to work is, I'll just tell you, y'all stressed. I might have you do a sanity check or a sanity save to avoid stress in some cases, but basically stress can stack, and for every stack of stress that you have a negative modifier to every d20 roll you try to make. How do you get rid of stress? So stress will go away at a rate of 1 stress per long rest. There is also magic that can reduce stress, and there is also going to be camping activities that can reduce stress. And I don't know how everybody felt about like prostitution and stuff, but if we wanted to go like, give a nod to like darker dungeons or something like that, essentially during downtime, you could find activities that help your character alleviate stress that might reduce stress at a faster rate. But yeah, stress is going to be real bad, and it's going to be real impactful to play, and I guess I apologize in advance. To balance out all of this terrible stuff happening to your rolls and everything, we are using Succeed at a Cost. If you're unfamiliar with Succeed at a Cost, if you are within 3 of doing something, you can Succeed at a Cost, and you succeed. However, something bad probably happens to you. There is an in-combat version, which is rough, and there's an out-of-combat version, which is very rough. But it is available at all times to Succeed at a Cost. You will not know that you can Succeed at a Cost until you ask. I use secret rolls for just about everything, so you don't know if you succeeded or not, but you can say, hey, I don't know how things are going, but I'll Succeed at a Cost on this check if necessary. And if necessary, I will say, oh, well, then you succeed, and then I will give you the cost. So keep in mind, Succeed at a Cost. As a person who, as a player, has terrible dice rolls, I need Succeed at a Cost, I think, to function. Some people, they go all in. They Succeed at a Cost all the time. Something to keep in mind.
It is amazing.
Oh,
It
is.
If you're trying to meta game, keep in mind that when you Succeed at a Cost on anything that had a numerical impact, you will have to roll fresh numbers. So you see that you did max damage with that sword swing, and you're like, oof, I can't let that max damage go, and you Succeed at a Cost. Well, you don't get the max damage. You have to re-roll the damage. Because in the beginning, people were calculating when they would do Succeed at a Cost, because they're like, well, I can't let that max damage hit go by, and then they would Succeed at a Cost just to kind of get that. So we did change it so that you have to roll it fresh if you decide to Succeed at a Cost. We also use, on a natural 1, a complication occurs. I'd say that like 15% of the complications are actually not bad. They just change things up a little bit. And I know that the argument is I'm a dual weapon fighter and I make 7 attacks per round, so statistically I'm going to have complications all the time. That's not very fair. Okay, cool. Well, we're still using them. And then conversely, we also use boons. So everything except a critical hit in combat, if you get a nat 20 on it, something really good happens to you. You get temp HP, you get to take a disengage for free, you get to take a dash action, you get an inspiration point, all of that. The reason we don't grant boons to critical hits is because in my games, when you get a critical hit, you deal max critical hit dice damage. So critical hits will one-shot you at level 1. So my advice is try not to get hit by a critical hit at low levels.
There is one exception.
When
you are unable to critically hit anything.
Well, that's an edge case scenario.
That's
but
like a personal problem there.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what all those different unique mechanics do. We also, to keep complicating things, potions. In a low magic game, potions are going to be really important. How else are you going to heal? How else are you going to buff yourselves? Well, at least you have that, right? Well, you can drink a number of potions during a long rest equal to your Constitution modifier. Jack the Bear, you can drink 4 such potions before you need to worry about it. Once you are past that, every time you drink a potion, there is a chance that you poison yourself to a certain extent. You lose a hit die, you gain some exhaustion. It's very like Witcher. Everyone can see your veins; they're all black and glowing, and you've got too much like magic flowing through your body. It is a good balancing factor to games where people will just spend all of their money on potions and they'll just drink potions nonstop. We do allow potions to be drank as a bonus action or an action. So you could double fist potions if you ever needed to. In order to keep track of how many potions you've taken, you can either apply the potion status to yourself. So if Jack has had 4 potions, we put 4 stacks of potion, or you could track it with one of your custom resource tabs. But do make sure that you're keeping track of it. It's only every long rest, right? That shouldn't be a problem, but it is, because in this campaign, you're only allowed to long rest in sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are normally towns, but in Barovia there are a number of sites that do function as sanctuaries as well. But keep that in mind when you are traveling long distances, when you are going to dangerous locations, that you will only be able to gain the benefits of your 2 short rests per day, and you will only be able to gain the benefits of camping actions and stuff to regain resources. So your long rest abilities, you need to ration them out. Resource scarcity is a trope of horror, and it helps make things scarier. Every decision that is made was not made because I wanted an S&M simulator where I could torment other human beings. I was trying to create a very scary game for you guys. So that's why all of these things are in effect.
Yeah. So the beginning of Odyssey, right? Long rests took a week.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
So we long rested very, 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 very rarely. And yeah, no, it definitely upped the tension. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy.
For narrative speed, a long rest will not take a week, but a downtime will take a week. So if you guys do decide that you want to take a downtime to focus on crafting, to recover from broken bones, which you will get, and things like that, then yes, you're going to want to do that. Broken bones, you say? Yes. So from the DM's guide, we are using injuries. So that's going to be a thing to watch out for. Excuse me. How do you guys get injuries? So basically, if a hit does a lot of damage to you, generally it will also cause an injury. So be on the lookout for that. Let's see. That should be covered under the mortal choices and injuries table. Yeah, here we go. Injuries will cause a wound, so you can have a wound and an injury at the same time. A wound reduces your max HP by a certain amount until healed. So at low levels, a wound will reduce your HP by your max HP by 1. As you get higher in level, the wounds actually impact you more so, but kind of less so because you have so much resources and HP to deal with. A wound, 1 will go away after a long rest, but wounds can stack. And also injuries. Injuries are specific conditions. Each injury has its own recovery time and methods of it. So you're going to want to have people who are trained in medicine to kind of help you deal with injuries. Whenever you take damage from a single source that would equal 50% of your max HP or more, you get an injury. So big hits, which obviously at low level is almost all hits. So watch out for that. And let's see. Oh, another thing to make the game terrifying. Your death saves. We're using lingering death saves. So if you are down at 0 and you get a failed death save, but then healing pops you back up, you still have that failed death save. The death saves will all zero out only when you take a long rest. So the longer you go without a long rest, the more chances you have of actually just dying from attrition, because those death saves have built up on you. Well, that's fine. We can at least manage it. No, to make it even harder and scarier, we're going to use secret death saves. So when you guys roll your death saves, you won't know if you passed or not. You won't know at any time how many failed death saves you have. But we are going to let people who are trained in medicine look you over and figure out how many failed death saves you have. But it's something that takes time, so you wouldn't be able to do it during a fight. So when Darius is down on the ground dying, you guys are taking a risk letting them roll death saves because you have no idea if they're going to stabilize or if they're just going to expire. Yeah. So, with all of that scary, spooky stuff explained, I think that covers everything that we need. Are there any questions?
I'm going to go through so many characters.
I just want to remind everyone, we signed up for this.
Okay, I'm just saying.
This is great.
Yeah. Hearing it told to us is a different story than just reading it. It's
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Narratively, this is a different kind of game than any other game. It's a different kind of game than Odyssey of the Dragon Lords, for sure. Dragon Lords is about the heroes, right? It literally is written about the heroes. There's parts of the adventure that they're like, you need to have this hero to access this part of the adventure. And the type of hero you are, the destiny you have, all of that is woven into the story. Curse of Strahd is a story about one character, Strahd. You guys are characters in Strahd's story. You have your own stories going on, and you have your own things that you're trying to do. But the campaign is written about one guy. His name is in the title of the campaign. So the writers acknowledge this at the beginning of the adventure, and they acknowledge that people will die. And there's a section in the adventure that explains how to, get new characters, because they think this is a raw WotC adventure. They acknowledge that people are going to die in the adventure. Like, that's the raw version of the adventure. They acknowledge that people are going to die. So love your character, care for your character, build relations with the people in the world, try to make as big of an impact as you can, but know that this is a horror game that is not about you, and the story will be told with or without you. None of you are a keystone to the story. You can try to make yourself the keystone of the story. You can try to seize the story for yourself. I admire that, and I want to see that, but also know that the world of the demiplane of dread of Barovia does not care about you at all. And if you choose to keep on going, that's on you. Oh, and fate points. Don't worry. All of the boss monsters in the game drop fate points. So
is there a limit to the number of fate points that someone can have?
You can carry as many fate points as you want, but when a boss dies, they drop only one fate point. So the 5 of you will have to determine how that fate point.
So we're going to cut it into fifths, and then every 5 bosses we kill.
Okay, you know what? I would accept that. I would accept that system. Yeah, sure. I'll stick it in a bank for you. But what we'll do is we will either vote on it with the polling tool, or you can World of Warcraft style roll for it, if you guys can't ever decide who gets it. And I think that's it. Your companions can share your inspiration pool. Oh, the companions. Shit. All right, so that's another mechanic we need to talk about real quick. All of you are essentially pet casters, which is why I wasn't allowing any pet casters in this campaign. So basically, in the companion system, let me just kind of walk you through it real quick. I want to get all of this bookkeeping out of the way so I don't have to interfere with the flow of the adventure once we get started. So, companion system is a variant of my B team system. B team system is way better. This is much more scary and troubling. So each PC can designate one NPC as their companion character. You each start with a companion character, but as you recruit NPCs in the game, they can be slotted into your companion spot. So technically at any time, there's going to be 10 of you guys wandering around somewhere. Safety in numbers, am I right? So the party can have more than 5 NPCs traveling with them. However, anyone that is not assigned as a companion rolls into initiative with their own action economy, and their lives are constantly in danger per this adventure, monsters love killing NPCs. They love killing NPCs. So if you have NPCs with you and they are not in the safety of a companion slot, they will be targeted very often and very frequently by monsters. You can change out your companion NPC after completing a long rest. You can choose not to have a companion NPC, but this does not allow another player to have 2 companion NPCs. What do they do? Your companion NPC shares your inspiration pool and your fate point. When I say inspiration pool, I allow players to have up to 3 points of inspiration at any given time. You can have them succeed at a cost, but if they do succeed at a cost, they get the result of the succeeded cost, and they automatically become aggro 3, which we'll talk about in a second. In initiative, your companion can act before or after your turn in initiative, just like a modern 5e, companion pets familiar type character. Your companion can move and take the following actions on their turn without drawing attention to themselves. Dodge, dash, duck. Duck is an action exclusive to companions. All companions can use their reaction to stay close. As a reaction, they may move up to their speed, but it must place them adjacent to or closer to their companion player character. So, Jack, if Dana ends up lagging behind, she can use her reaction to move closer to you, essentially. Are they safe? No. Enemies will ignore your companions by default unless they take meaningful actions. Paragon monsters, aka boss monsters, will ignore these rules. They do whatever they want. They are assholes. Each time your companion character takes an action, a reaction, or a bonus action besides dodge, dash, duck, or stay close, they gain 1 threat token, and they roll on the threat aggro table. If a companion takes the duck action, they may remove 1d3 threat tokens. Whenever a companion gains aggro or advances aggro, remove all of their threat tokens. All threat and aggro reset after conflict is declared over by the DM. Companion NPCs can still be harmed or killed by collateral damage, traps, environmental hazards, and AoEs, so be careful. All companion NPCs have evasion while they are slotted as companions. All right. So basically, if they do stuff, there is a chance that they gain aggro. The more aggro they have, the more likely they are to increase that aggro. When they have aggro, it goes as such. By default, they have no aggro. They are ignored by monsters. If they have 1 point of aggro, they are targeted the same way a player character is targeted. So if Jack and Dana are here and there is a monster and Dana has 0 aggro, the monster will not attack Dana. If she has 1 aggro, they will decide randomly to attack Jack or Dana because both of them are viable targets. If Dana has 2 stacks of aggro, they will be prioritized over a player character. And if a companion character ever has 3 stacks of aggro, all monsters will seek out that character whenever possible. So basically, the more you use your companions, the more at risk your companions become. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep them in harm's way.
Yeah, but some of them are going to be very useful. Your starting companions are not very good, but they will have the ability to level up during gameplay. You will inevitably find better, stronger companions than you started with, very much like a Pokemon game. Whether or not you decide to keep your Rattata till Victory Road is up to you. But there will be some legendaries and some mythic NPCs that you are able to recruit that it's going to be a hard sell to bring Matthew into battle when you could be bringing this totally badass vampire hunter. But again, it's personal choice and what you decide to do. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share...
Is there a journal entry for
Yep.
companions?
Yep. I'm going to share all of the stuff I talked about.
Okay.
There should be a folder called House Rules. And you guys should have access to everything inside House Rules now.
Yep, I see it.
So companions, creature size expanded, fear, firearms, grappling, mortal choice, sanity, stress, underwater combat, all that stuff. All right. Sweet.
One last question for my own sake. since our characters are from the real world and whatnot, would we be aware of like certain pop culture references, such
Oh, for
as
sure.
and like not to metagame, but we've all seen zombie movies and horror movies. Will we have some basis on that?
Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah, I wanted to avoid the whole metagaming aspect. So
Well, that's the fun part of playing a isekai game, is that you do have that meta knowledge, and it's not outside of your character to have that unless you've made a character who wouldn't know about that kind of stuff. But in the year 2022, geek culture reigns supreme. It's hard to say that your character wouldn't know what a zombie is in the year 2022, living in America, right? You probably know what a zombie is. You probably know about vampires. Yeah, so it is completely okay for you guys to know that stuff. If you ever feel like you should have to check, assume that you all have proficiency in meta, which is an intelligence-based skill, and you can roll an intelligence check with proficiency and then kind of decide if your character would know about that or not. Or if you want me to mitigate that, you can say, what are the odds that Darius knows the weaknesses of a vampire? And I can say, all right, well, yeah, roll a meta check, and we'll see if Darius knows that information. Yeah.
Expect us to say the movie got it wrong.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
oh my
because-
god.
Yeah.
Or the surprise that the movie got it right.
Right.
One
Like,
of the things
I'm
that
an
we've
actor. I mean, I probably have lots of opinions.
Mhm.
one of the things that we enjoyed a lot in the Witchlight Isekai was that freedom to sort of be more meta and not have it actually be a part of the game. Because the characters are from the real world and they do know these things. So, all right. Did anybody have their
Wizards of the
server
Coast? I'm
suddenly?
assuming doesn't
Yeah, mine just
exist
reset.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
same.
in
Same here.
this.
Oh, does Wizards of the Coast exist? And that's a
Yeah,
great question.
have
my
I
God.
DM'd Curse of Strahd in
Yeah.
campaign?
So, in order to avoid that, we are going to say that Curse of Strahd mysteriously was not a product in your world's timeline. Dungeons and Dragons exist. Pathfinder exists. All that stuff exists, but there was never a Curse of Strahd game. There was a Castlevania video game series and Netflix anime series, though.
Was there a whatever edition Ravenloft?
No, for some reason, right after they made Dragonlance, Tracy Hickman and what's their face, they mysteriously vanished, never to be seen again. So they never got a chance.
If we don't meet him
Yeah,
in the
but
I know,
Dracula,
right?
but Dracula does exist. So you might know about Dracula and the 15,000 different movies and stories that they've told about it.
And the Twilight movies exist.
The Twilight movies definitely exist for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would Strahd be
that's where
would
Tiernan's
Strahd
knowledge of vampires comes
would
from.
Strahd be
Twilight.
aware of Twilight?
You'll have to ask him if he's aware of Twilight.
A long conversation with him about those movies.
Also, all of the World of Darkness games exist. All of the Anne Rice novels exist. So the only thing that's missing from your timeline is Curse of Strahd, because somebody did jokingly tell me like, "Oh, well, my character's a professional dungeon master that runs Curse of Strahd 5 times a week," and I was like, "Yeah, no, that's not gonna. No, you know what? That's where we're gonna have to draw the line, right there." All right. So I think, and I am sorry to take up so much of our limited time with Foundry tutorials and this kind of stuff, but this is important for our campaign. So this is like the session 0 training wheels kind of stuff. But now, unless there's any other questions, we're going to jump into the adventure proper.
Real quick, I would like to put out there, Tiernan has the mixologist ability. So if you're worried about your potion toxicity, just have me give it to you instead, and you'll be fine.
Also, if you look in the World Patch doc, training in medicine does allow you to administer a potion either to provide the full healing benefits of the potion, or to provide the potion without impacting your toxicity. So the medicine skill is incredibly important in this campaign. I cannot stress how important the medicine skill is in this campaign. Without magic to help you, medicine skill is going to be very, very important.
Two things. Just for like ease of visibility for everyone. If they're able to right click on their character token, and for display name, probably toggle that to always for everyone. just at a glance, if someone's looking at a map, they can easily see. Oh, okay, that's Darius.
Oh,
Okay,
as you guys
Strahd.
learn each other's names and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
By default, I made it hover over. But yeah, if it's better for you guys to change that to always on, if that would help you guys learn each other's names, that's fine with me.
Yeah. And then
How do we do that again?
right click on your token. You'll see the gear icon on the left side. Click that. Under the identity tab, if you go down like to the second row, there's display name. And if you open up that drop down and go down to
Always for everyone?
Yep, always for everyone.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. That definitely helps, at least for visibility on when a screen can be a little bit cluttered. The other thing I wanted to say is for our characters or our companions, is there a certain number of skills that we're supposed to be proficient with at this 0 level? Or
Your companions have the skills that they have. You guys get 3 skills of your choice and 1 tool. There's really no point in having languages because there will be a plot device that explains why you guys can speak Barovian and understand Barovian. And outside of that, the other languages within Barovia are going to be supernatural languages. So things that your character in the real world would never have had a chance to learn anyways. So instead of worrying about languages as a background, because that's what you guys are, you're just backgrounds right now. You have 3 skills and 1 tool. I recommend waiting to choose your tool until crafting is unlocked, because there is going to be a crafting system, and you guys will probably want to diversify your portfolio. And that might, be a discussion that you have. And I think it's better to save the crafting till later, till you guys get a sense of who your characters are and what they might be interested in crafting. But I definitely recommend that everybody take part in the crafting, because there are no artificers, there are no craftsmen in this campaign. So in order to keep your consumables flowing, you're going to want to take up some form of crafting.
Okay. I was just going to say, I think on my companion, she probably would have medicine over religion because of her background.
Oh, I see.
Oh, we have access to our companion sheet then?
Yeah, you should. You should be able to double click on your companion.
I don't.
Oh. Let's see. Oh, yeah. All right. I think yours might have been the last one that I added. Here we go. Your companions never have sight either. So there is a good chance that you will misplace your companion if you're not careful. There's a little bit of a mini game here. Whenever combat starts, wherever your companion happens to be, that's where they are at the start of the fight. So you will need to keep track of your companions. They are a big responsibility.
What's the name of the mod that puts the little bar for characters that you have controlled, and has like the picture and then the
one
little
at the bottom of the screen? I think it's Monk's token bar or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to see both you and your companion at the bottom if you have access to both of them. So clicking on their picture at the bottom will take you directly to them on the screen. All right, cool. So sounds like we're ready to go then. No other questions?
I'm good.
All right.
Good to go. Let
us begin. All right. You guys are in the city of Seattle. How many of your characters are actually native to Seattle?
Reed's a native.
Reed's a native? Okay.
Darius is native.
All right, Darius.
Kiernan lives there, but he's not from there.
Okay, fair enough. So we have any out-of-towners that are coming in from out of town for this?
That would be Eric for me.
All right. Eric's coming from out of town. All right. Sounds good. All right. So there is an NPC that each of you has been in contact with. 2 NPCs. But one NPC in particular that you guys have been in contact with, he is a German guy named Vasily von Holtz. And he has contacted each of you about either an opportunity or like a sort of a getaway, a tech retreat, as it were. Not a place to go for tech, but a place to retreat from tech, sort of a tech purge, kind of bed and breakfast sort of vacation situation. So each of you has kind of been given this opportunity through this Vasily von Holtz. In the other game, a lot of the characters were Hollywood adjacent, and Vasily von Holtz sort of represented like an agent that had reached out to each of them for a particular reason. But it was the thread that kind of connected them all together. Similar to like in Clue, everybody was connected to Mr. Body in some way. This Vasily von Holtz is an individual that is responsible for your character knowing about and being able to go to this fancy retreat in the mountains and forests of Washington State, overlooking the beautiful bay and just north of the city of Seattle and all that good stuff. So, real quick, we're going to do character introductions. You can give me an establishing shot of your character either driving to the campsite or the cabin, or your character kind of getting off the plane, or your character kind of preparing for the drive there. Just like, what would we see as an audience? What would the camera show about your character, like physically? And then kind of give us just a quick synopsis, like your elevator pitch of who your character is and what your character is about. You do not have to reveal a bunch of secret information if you do not want to. So we'll just go top to bottom, left to right. So Jack, what does the camera see? What is the establishing shot of Jack?
Hey, Jack is driving his Dodge Challenger up the road to the retreat. He is not particularly sure where he's going, so he's kind of conferring with his the person to his right in the passenger seat. This is Dana, who is his daughter. She is sort of helping him navigate the drive to the retreat. As far as what Jack is a nurse that works at University Hospital in Seattle. He works in outpatient surgery. Has lived in Seattle for about 15 or so years. He had his child has come to live with him recently due to some situation with mom. He's a divorcee, and they are coming to the retreat to get sort of a bonding scenario going on, since they haven't really connected all that often, since he hasn't been in her life very much.
Okay, and how old is she? Is she like high school, college?
Let's say she's 16.
All right, she's 16, and you guys have a kind of a tense, like estranged relationship that you're trying to repair, kind of thing?
Correct.
Okay, gotcha. All right. What is the establishing shot of Darius?
All right. Darius is a African-American male and is still in his early 20s. He would be the one driving, probably Malibu up the road. In the passenger seat is his childhood friend Mackenzie. He's not really talking much during this trip. It doesn't seem like he's the kind of talkative type, but she's the one who's kind of doing most of the talking. Keeping him company. From an appearance standpoint, he seems like he has an athletic build, probably about 6 foot, but very, from noticeably kind of like a mop of twisted black hair and a nose piercing. Mackenzie with her kind of brownish frizzy hair and purple streaks in it. Mackenzie was the one who had learned about this no tech retreat, and knowing Darius, he's a amateur mixed martial arts fighter. There's a local tournament that's going to be coming up in a couple of weeks, and she just wanted to get him to kind of clear his head because he's been overtraining a little bit, so kind of pushing that reset button for a little bit of a weekend getaway.
All right. And what is the establishing shot of Tiernan? Is that how you pronounce it?
Tiernan.
Tiernan. Got it.
So He would actually arrive after his little NPC companion. So you see just a nondescript, like black car that drives up. The door opens, and stepping out of it is Izzy here. And the first thing that you would notice about Izzy is the white cane that she carries around, because she is in fact blind. And she's just sort of waiting around for a second, not really sure what to do, as her black car drives away. And then Tiernan pulls up in just his pickup, and he gets out, and he immediately sees Izzy, and he goes, "God damn it, Izzy, your fucking brother. It was supposed to be me and your fucking brother. I'm sorry. Look, let's get you settled. I'll call him later. We'll figure this out." And Tiernan is, I'm not gonna do an Irish accent. He has one, but I'm not gonna do it.
Okay, so you're Chris Pratt in it. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a me,
Okay.
Mario Tiernan, and he's got terrible facial scarring on one side of his face. Looks like burn scars mostly, but other than that, long auburn hair, nice beard, very strong looking. He's about 5'10", so he's not as big as Darius, but he looks like he's a sturdy individual.
Okay. All right. Then the establishing shot of a less sturdy individual. Tell us about Reed. What's the establishing shot? What do we got going on?
Yeah, so unlike everybody else who's either arriving or driving, Reed actually is going to be a little late. So you actually see him in a pretty nice apartment. Everything's well furnished and crafted almost to look like a catalog. Very, very manufactured. So you see a possibly good-looking younger gentleman there with probably about 5 bags of luxury luggage that he's packing because, it's a weekend retreat. You never know what you're going to need. And so he's basically deciding how many headshots to bring and, different outfits that he may need for the weekend. There is another individual in the other room that he's arguing with who has one very sleek, modern, like steel briefcase and bag, a couple years older, much more practical. And he's telling him, of course, that they're going to be late. But Reed says, hey, things are going to start when I get there. It's really not that important. This guy's much more impatient and got what he thought was like a spam ad for a relationship retreat. And so kind of clicked on it and thought, hey, this may be the last chance to repair this fraying relationship between he and Reed.
All right. Dr. Vasily von Holtz, relationship therapist, renowned specialist in mending broken hearts and building bridges to a brighter future, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah.
The guy's European. He's got to be certified for
which
something.
is interesting because Jack and Dana saw an ad for father-daughter bonding retreats. Leave the technology behind so that you can better build and rebuild those familiar relationships and forge a brighter future together. Dr. Vasily von Holtz, family therapist and counselor extraordinaire, et cetera, as each of you kind of has a different Vasily von Holtz advertisement. Yeah.
For those familiar with that are local to Seattle and familiar with the theater scene, you may have seen Reed in a few productions, namely, Shakespearean roles and Christmas productions, or if you've seen the Twilight series, a much younger Reed is an extra in most of those films.
All right. And then finally, establishing shot of Eric.
You guys, the establishing shot of Eric is him on the side of the road on his way to the vacation home alongside his nephew. And you'll see Eric wearing a dark bluish shirt with a brown sleeveless vest over. He's wearing jeans as he's crouching down at the front of the car with the hood up, wrench in hand as he attempts to fix the engine that stalled out a while ago, all while snapping his fingers with the camera latch over his shoulder hanging down at the side of his waist. And he'll look up, pop the hood down, and then call over to Matthew, and he'll say, try again.
All right, and yeah, so Matthew will kind of pump the gas a little bit. And
You'll
then
hear that.
hang his head out the window. Anything?
Yeah, it seems to be working. All right, move to the side.
So in a way that only video game characters can, he just moves flawlessly from the driver's side of the car to the passenger side of the car. Something that every time it happens to me in Cyberpunk, I'm like, nobody could just get from the passenger side to the driver's side that easily. It's fucking crazy.
Do that in GTA all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I guess I've forgotten what it's like to be young and not have my body hurt for all and every reason. But all right, so we got a good establishing cast here. On the way, because it wouldn't be proper horror if you guys just got to your destination. On the way to this remote mountain cabin up near Big Sur, overlooking Puget Sound city, the skyline of Seattle, just like a twinkling gemstone in the horizon sort of thing. You're going up into the rural mountains, redwood trees and massive ancient pines everywhere. The terrain is hilly and wet. There's moss that kind of keeps the hillside from just absolutely collapsing in on itself from all of the constant rain that pounds this region 9 months out of the year. Some things happen on the way there. So I'm just looking for a volunteer to stop at the rural gas station to fill up their car. You want to make sure that you top off that gas, especially if you're going into a rural area. So who would think to stop for gas to make sure that the vehicle was topped off?
I'm an Uber driver, so Reed would do it.
Okay, all right. So Reed, you stop at this rural gas station, and the pump looks so old that you're not sure it actually can produce gasoline. It looks like a prop from like a 1950s movie or something. And there's just two pumps, and there's no other cars here. The convenience store, as it were, is just a little log cabin, maybe 10 feet away from the pump. And looking inside, you see that there's like one rack of chips and candy, one cooler of beer, one cooler of Coca-Cola. For those of you who live in Washington State, I don't remember if you can buy alcohol at a gas station or not, so just go with it. It's been a long time since I've been there. And, you can see that the outline of a guy at the counter. He's watching Fox News on the TV that's kind of hanging up there. And there is an old woman smoking a corncob pipe. And she is sitting in a little wicker rocking chair, and she's just slowly rocking. And as you stop to get out of your car, you pump your own gas in Washington State, and you're just looking at the pump, trying to figure out what's going on there. Hold on, let's change the music out here before we go any further. Let's see. Okay. So also for anybody that didn't know, on Discord, you can change the music bot to be whatever volume you like. I try my best with a number of different plugins to make the sound all come in the same volume, since everything is mastered differently. But if you ever need to tweak it, do that. Also, we are using sound in Foundry as well. So if you want the full immersion, you're going to want to keep the sound in Foundry on, and if you need to modify the sound, the little music note at the top right will allow you to adjust the sound in Foundry. All right, so as you're trying to figure it out, the old woman, her skin is like, she's probably Caucasian, but the skin is like tanned by, years of sun and things like that, and weathered. Her eyes are cataract over, and she's just surrounded by sort of a mane of tobacco smoke that just kind of lingers in the air. You hear the creak, creak, creak of her rocking chair, and Reed, that she is watching you try to figure out the machine, or the gas pump. And she finally says, "You got to pay inside for the gas. There's old-fashioned pumps. There's no place for your credit cards."
Reed kind of rolls his eyes and gives a fake smile to the woman, kind of, yeah, of course. And kind of looks back at Adrian in the car, who looks kind of put out that Reed didn't fill up ahead of time, and
Yeah.
I kind of walk in to the convenience store, looking at all the items, saying, "Well, there's no way any of this is organic or possibly not expired." I look to the guy and kind of hand over some cash and say, "Can I get a 15 on a? I guess that's pump 1."
The guy slowly moves his gaze away from his news program. He seems to be a youngish man, but somehow old at the same time. Like, you know that he's probably in his early 20s, but it looks like he's led a really hard life, or he's just a real hard dude. He's got a flannel shirt, he's got denim jeans. You can kind of see tobacco stains on his teeth, and he's chewing some tobacco at this time, and he's just kind of gumming it and slurping on it. And he stares at you, and he scratches the uneven stubble on his face, and he says, "Yeah, it's pretty late in the season for someone to be up here. It's what, well, why's a city boy like you all the way up here in the woods, son?"
Try not to take any offense at that, of course. I just kind of look at him and go, "Oh, we're heading up to the cabin a little further down the road."
Cabin. Oh, yeah, the only place up this road is the old Durst's Manor. Heading up to the Durst's place, huh?
Yeah.
I could have sworn that it was closed down for the season.
Kind of dismissing him as probably not really being in the know, and I'm sure news doesn't travel so quickly in this area. I kind of dismiss that as just, okay, dribble.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, sure, I'm, whatever, and give him the money and just say, "Hey, can you just turn on the gas for me, please?"
Oh, it doesn't get turned on. You just need to pay for it.
All right, 15, and I just give him the money and kind of wait, make sure he's good with it, and walk out.
So what are you driving up the road? He kind of leans curiously over the counter. Says, "Oh, that's a rough road. You think that thing's gonna make it?"
Yeah, it's so look at the car. It's nicely maintained, but it's older. It's a few years. It really doesn't exactly have a lot of money, and he's hesitant to ask Adrian, who does have much more money. So yeah, he looks at the car and he goes, "I'm sure it'd be fine. I mean, it's don't really need winter tires just yet."
I don't think you're ever gonna need winter tires. Well, thanks for the commerce. Hope you have a safe drive there.
Yeah, you too, buddy. And he walks out and tries to avoid looking at the woman in the rocking chair and kind of avoid the tobacco smoke as much as possible. And is very thankful that he uses moisturizer. Yeah. And he fills up on the gas, tries to put in exactly $15 to not go over. And
there must be some kind of remote stuff at work, because it does kind of like stop you at 15. So
all right, he gets back in to the passenger side and tells Adrian he's driving the rest of the way. I've had enough.
All right, he says, "Wow, I'm getting a real Hills Have Eyes vibe off of those two. Did Grandma hit on you, or offer to have you for dinner or something?" Or...
Not yet, but let's just say I'm thankful for good dental work.
As you say that, you kind of see the woman take the pipe from her mouth and kind of tick some ash from it, and you see her very old mottled tongue kind of slide out over her missing teeth and her ancient gums, as her almost sightless eyes seem to be staring right at you through the window.
Reed promises to himself to never grow old gracefully.
Fair enough. All right, so you pull out and head up the mountain. All right, there is another scene that I'll need somebody for. Something is blocking the road. Now, if you could picture this, you are driving up one of those roads that really doesn't have room for two cars. And it is just sort of carved into the side of the mountain. So you've got mountainside on the right, and you've got open cliff to tumble hundreds of feet to your death on the left. So something blocking the road will be it will be a big issue. So is there somebody who feels like they would be equipped to deal with something blocking the road?
Darius can be in that scene.
Okay. So Darius, you and Mackenzie are riding in your what vehicle?
Chevy Malibu.
Okay. So you're taking your Chevy Malibu up into these roads that here at the end of the season maybe are not well maintained. A lot of bumps, a lot of pitfalls that you have to watch out for. Debris in the road that you kind of hear crunch under the tires as you go. And Mackenzie says, yeah, Darius, you see, we're getting away from it all. Like, everything's going to be back in the city. It's just going to be us and a chance for you to just relax, a time for us to just sort of meditate and... I don't know. Like, I think in that disconnection, we're going to find our connection, you know?
I could have meditated.
Watch out! And she kind of like pulls on your shoulder. Do you break?
Yep.
Okay. Something massive is blocking the road up ahead. As you kind of peer through your banks, you think it's like a deer, but it's like the biggest deer you've ever seen. And it is letting out like a terrible low whine.
Darius.
I'm not going to play any sad deer sounds because it causes some bad feels for people. But it's a horrible, like, mournful sound coming out of this creature. The creature is as big as your car.
Darius will kind of just like look over towards Mackenzie and will just be like, stare.
I don't think that's a deer, Darius. Darius, you made it the first roll of the campaign. Give me a handle animal intelligence or a nature intelligence.
Here we go, baby. Oh, both of those are gonna have a -1 to it.
Okay.
What's
you will have advantage because you and Mackenzie are trying to figure it out together.
That makes it better. We'll do nature at advantage.
Okay. You have no idea what it is. In your mind, you decide to call it a kaiju deer or a super buck. You're not sure which will fit. You have never seen, I'm assuming as a city kid, an animal this big.
Yeah.
Mackenzie says, we can't go back, can we? Like, should we call somebody? Should we try to move it? I don't know what to do.
See what's wrong with it.
Okay.
Stay here.
So you're gonna, all right. She says you're gonna go. What if it has rabies?
And he'll pause for a minute.
All right, while you're pausing, I need a second volunteer to have their car drive up behind this car.
I'll do that one.
Okay, is that Tiernan?
Yep.
All right, so Tiernan, you guys are driving up. You're by yourself because Izzy came in her own vehicle or had an Uber drop her off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So Tiernan, you're alone, and there's a car up in front of you. It's definitely a car that should not be out in these, this area and this terrain, essentially. And it is stopped for some reason, and kind of peering past the car, it looks like there's some kind of tree fall or something blocking the road.
All right. Well, let's find out what's going on, I guess. We'll slide out of the
Do you turn the car
driver's
off?
seat. Probably just put it in park.
Okay. You use emergency brake? You are on an
Would
incline.
I personally have used my emergency brake? No. Would Tiernan? Yeah, probably.
Okay. So Tiernan engages. This is character development. So he engages the e-brake. He gets out. Darius, while you guys are contemplating rabies, a vehicle pulls up behind you, and it looks like a guy's getting out of the car or the vehicle. Mackenzie says, "Who's that?"
No idea.
We got some sort of blockage. What's going on?
All right, Darius, do you look out the window to see who it is?
He'll roll down the window.
All right. You see a man whose face is a nightmare of burn scars.
I think that will kind of, for a second, Darius will kind of like pull back a little bit, but then just keep his gaze on this man. Block ahead.
Tree fall, and then I turn and look, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, so Tiernan, give me intelligence handle animals or intelligence nature to see if you can identify what the creature is. Unless there's something in your backstory where you would be very knowledgeable about wild animals.
No.
Okay.
Well, we're upgrading from a -1 to a +0, so here we go.
All right, so you're pretty sure that that's not a deer, it's a moose.
Okay.
The size, the shape of the antlers, yeah.
We've got ourselves a dying moose here, I guess. Fuck, he's big.
And Darius, now that you're looking, you and Tiernan notice that there's blood pooling around the moose.
Wounded.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting up.
Move aside.
The moose looks like it weighs about 1,000 pounds.
I mean, I could tie a rope around him, try to move him with my truck, but your car's in the way. This is a small road. We'll have to drive back until we find a place where we can swap around orders. You want to try to move it? See what we can do.
Sure. Yeah, I guess Darius will get out from the car.
Okay. Mackenzie puts her hand on your arm and says, "Be careful." Oh God. All right. So you get out, and the two of you stand there, and the moose just lays there dying in the road.
Yeah, I want to sort of slowly approach it and try to figure out what exactly happened to this moose.
All right. As you approach, I need a handle animals wisdom based. Each of you can roll. I'll take the best of the two. Okay. All right. Darius, your calm demeanor seems to calm the beast down. Its cries become a bit fainter, and you think that you can approach without it lashing out at you.
He'll just look at this old man who's beside him and just give him a nod, and we'll just kind of like slowly approach the creature.
All right. As you approach the creature, go ahead and give me, both of you, give me a medicine check and a survival check. I would also accept an investigation check if you want to throw that in there too.
I'm supposed to be good at medicine.
But not veterinary medicine, apparently.
I guess not.
But way better than Darius, Darius, your medical opinion is this animal is hurt. Okay.
Animal's tired, that's why it's lying out on the road.
All right. So with that survival check, Tiernan, it seems that the animal fell from higher up and tumbled down into the road. You can tell that two of its legs are broken. You know that they're broken because the bones are not inside its body anymore. Darius, you confirm that not only is the creature fallen and broken two of its legs, but it has several large gashes on its body. And as you look, you see that some of its guts are kind of spilling out from one of the wounds. They seem to be a series of equidistant slashes, as if something very large clawed this creature up.
Darius will definitely point to those gashes to Tyrion.
Bear, maybe. I don't. Yes, yeah. I mean, you can. If you look over that way, you can see where he tumbled down. Looks like maybe he got attacked and tried to run away, but wasn't able to get far.
There are 5 slashes, each of which seems to be at least 3 inches apart, indicating that whatever slash this creature up was massive.
Big bear.
The creature looks up at you, its eyes rolling in its head from pain, and it lets out plaintive cries. Darius, you could feel it trying to communicate with you. It sensed something in you with your very high handle animal check that you could help it, that you could make this stop, that you were here to make things right. You feel the enormous pressure of its cries.
Oh man, if this was Saturday, I probably could. Darius is not trained in any type of medicine or veterinary. But I mean, Mackenzie has some training. Unsure about this old man who's with him.
Ken is just gonna crouch down next to the moose, and sort of try to comfort it a little bit as much as he can.
All right,
There's nothing he's doing.
give me a handle animals. As that is happening, Jack or Eric, your car would come upon this traffic jam. Do I volunteer?
Eric will probably start honking his horn.
Okay. You guys maybe get startled a bit. You hear Mackenzie in the car go, ah! As there's a from further back, and you guys see that there is a third vehicle now backed up in this mountain trail. Matthew turns to you, Eric, and says, "How is there traffic? We're not even in the city. This is ridiculous."
Give me a moment. Eric's going to pull...
Hey, Eric. Try not to scare them, okay? You could be a little rough. That's all I'm saying. You'd be a little rough.
All right. He's going to pull down his window shield, look outside, and wave a hand out to the rest.
Okay. You guys see a man further down. He's waving at you guys. The moose continues its plaintive cries. Tiernan, with your handle animals, the creature recoils at your touch, and its body shivers with pain. Go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw. Ooh. All right.
The dice gods are playing.
All right. Tiernan, it's gonna actually hit you with like its head and its horns a little bit.
Oh my god.
Here we go.
If I die before the establishing shot of my character,
Japanese moose.
You take 8 points of damage as this just 1,000-pound beast just like reflexively kind of turns its head away from you and just brains you with its antlers.
yeah. So I get knocked down and back. Away.
Because this is more than half your health, you get the first injury of the campaign too.
That's in character.
All right. Broken foot. Oh no! All right. So what happens is you get brain.
I spring backwards after it knocks me, and I catch my foot on something going down the incline and twist it the wrong way, and a little snap happens, and then so I limp over and I'm leaning against the edge of your car, and I look back at you, face white, and
It's only been 30 minutes since we started.
Why don't you keep an eye on this? I'm gonna go back to the truck and see what's up with this person behind us.
Darius will look at Mackenzie and just like give him a nod, like I think this guy needs some help.
Yeah, you heard the crack, and he almost went over the edge. Like he almost died. Like if he hadn't contorted his body in such a horrible manner to catch his balance, like that hit and the stumble afterwards would have sent him over the side.
that hit would have killed Reed.
Do we have a wounded
Yep.
status?
Yep. As these injuries become available, you've unlocked a new feature.
Yeah.
I will create effects for them so that you can keep track of them. So you are the proud owner of a broken foot.
Was it this bad for Nightfall?
Don't focus on the other timeline. Focus on yourselves.
sorry.
All right, Eric, you see this whole thing as you're approaching what you thought was a fallen tree. This guy with bright red hair was like bending down, and it suddenly moved and let out a horrible cry. The guy starts to tumble towards the edge, blood dripping from his forehead. It looks like he's going to go over. Last second, the guy kind of gets his momentum, and as he twists to avoid tumbling off the edge, you hear an audible snap, like a branch breaking in winter. The guy stumbles, his forehead bleeding, and then he rests against the car, and there's a woman inside the car who screams, "Are you okay?" And then she gets out of the car and starts checking you out, medicine check and all that kind of thing, to see what's happening with you. So, Eric, what's
fine?
Yeah. What's your take on this, Eric?
He's gonna look over to Matthew. Stay in the car. He's gonna open up the car door.
He's like, whoa, what's the problem? Are they police?
No.
Okay, thank God. Oh, man. Oh, all right. Well, whatever it is, you should be able to deal with it.
Yes, I will. Just go on your cell phone or something.
I can't. There's no signal out here.
What? Eric's gonna open up his
Yeah,
cell
immediately
phone.
panics. Yeah, you see no bars.
Fuck. There should be someone we get down by the Airbnb. Just wait.
Okay.
He's going to get out, walk towards the rest of the group, and he sees the moose, right?
Yeah, now you do see the moose. I don't know if you know it's a moose. Is your character more of a city person or a country person?
I'm gonna say more of a country person.
Okay.
He doesn't really stay near his family.
Okay. So you would think that based on the size, and it's, again, if you've ever seen a very big animal in person, if you're not the kind of person that's around big animals, it's always like a lot to take in. But you realize this has to be a moose based on the size and the antlers.
Eric keeps himself exactly 15 feet away from the moose.
Okay.
To see within range, of course.
Sure. Yeah, there's another guy there nearby, Darius, and then this guy over here is being treated by this lady right here, who is kind of has a first aid kit from the car and is trying to kind of bandage your scalp wound. And then she's going to look at your foot. Darius, you see this guy approach. What do you do? I mean, we can't even have an adventure, guys, unless you clear the road.
Man. Okay, so this animal, it's literally taken up the whole road. Does it look like if it's possible to push it to the one side to where any of the cars can go by, or all the cars can go by?
I mean, it weighs 1,000 pounds. If you had enough strong people, you could push it, but it looks like this thing has a little bit of fight left in it. I mean, it almost killed Tiernan.
Does anyone have a knife?
No knife. I guess he'll look over towards Tyrion and Mackenzie, see if they have anything.
I mean, Mackenzie looks at you, looks through their very limited inventory. She does not have a knife.
One of the things I was going to have Tiernan bring was like a wood chopping axe.
Okay.
There's an axe.
Just chopping wood helps you. A lot of people, that's a meditative activity, is to chop wood. Okay.
Well, and we're going out to some cabin in the middle of nowhere, and I mean, there's an axe in the back of the truck.
All right, Jack. At this point, you and Dana come upon what appears to be a backwoods traffic jam. There's at least 3, maybe more cars that just stopped ahead of you on the road. Dana says, That's weird. I mean, I know there's other people going to this thing, but why are they all stopped?
I will take a minute to kind of evaluate to see what's going on, make sure there's no like fighting or anything like that. And,
Sure. Okay.
once that time goes by, keep the car running, tell her to lock the doors, and I'll go out.
All right.
Investigate.
Give me a perception check from the distance that you're at. Okay. I'll be honest, Jack. Your eyes are tired. You know that there's people, and you know that there's a commotion with some kind of tree fall that's blocking the path.
I'll just yell then. Come on, guys. What's the holdup?
All right, Tyrion,
Darius
with
is
your
just-
broken foot and your scalp wound, as you're limping towards your truck, this dude gets out of his car and starts yelling at you. What's the holdup?
Damn moose.
As I walk by, I look at this guy, and I look at him kind of shocked, going, "Are you okay? Did it attack you?"
Yeah, it looks like you got mauled by something.
I don't know if attack's the right word.
He's very obviously got an injury. I will check and see if everybody else is okay, and then come back and take a look at him.
Okay. As you walk by, there's a lovely young lady. She looks very stressed out about what's happening. Maybe even has a point of stress. You see two guys that are kind of staring down at the moose, trying to figure out what to do. Would Jack know what a moose is?
No.
Okay, all right. Then the biggest, scariest deer you've ever seen is lying in a puddle of blood, bones protruding from two of its legs. You immediately know with your background that those legs are broken. If this was a horse, it would be killed. There's no coming back from this for a hooved quadruped of this size. There's no recovery.
Is it still alive?
It is still alive. It occasionally makes horrible sounds. And as it does, blood kind of spurts from several gashes along its back and stomach. You can smell the stomach juices mixing with the blood, and you can see intestine, pink and wet, peeking out from its matted brown fur.
I think at this point, Darius will kind of walk over to Mackenzie and kind of lean over. May have to kill it. Gun.
She starts to like tear up a little bit. She says, What? Hold on. You want the gun? Are you sure it's okay to pull that out here?"
Either that or we stab it.
When you say "or we stab it," Tiernan, you walk back up with your axe.
No, I don't walk back up. I just tell people that it's there.
Oh, okay.
All right, then if Darius heard that, then he'd be like, look at Tiernan and be like, "Can I borrow it?"
All right, and also in Washington State, you do need a permit to carry a concealed pistol. And you beyond pistols, you have to be basically hunting or in an area for hunting to have anything but a pistol on you.
Mackenzie is part of the police department, so
There
she
you go.
probably would
All right.
have a permit on
Well,
her. And
She
her-
says, "I can't we can't just fire my service pistol. I have to fill out paper every time it gets fired."
Then looks at Tyrion, axe.
In the back of the truck.
Then Darius will go to the back of the truck.
All right, Jack, they are talking about killing this thing with an axe.
Okay. If it gets the show on the road.
All right, Tiernan, you kind of rifle through the bed of your truck, and Tiernan, are you the kind of guy that secures his tools, or is everything just kind of tossed back there so the kid final
No,
destination?
they're in like a toolbox or something.
Okay. All right, so you open it up, you get the axe out. Okay.
I guess Darius will kind of steal himself and be like, "Be right back."
I will go. He makes it very evident that he's going to go do something about it. I will step in to assist and hold the head
Okay.
if possible.
Ooh, that's a risky business. All right. Give me a handle animal as you try to approach the creature's head. Ooh, all right. Give me a dexterity save as it kind of like bucks and turns its head, trying to gore you.
No, stay away from that.
Oh, okay. You were able to dip out of the way. You know, kind of step back real quick as it tries to hit you. You can tell the thing is losing strength. Like it is definitely going to die, but it's going to be a long day if it is not taken care of.
While this thing is focused on trying to buck Jack back, can Darius come up from behind it and just brain the creature?
Yeah. You can punch a moose in the back of the head. Sure.
With the axe. Come down with the axe.
Oh, you take the axe. Okay. Give me give me an attack roll.
I don't have.
Just roll strength, and we'll add. It doesn't
that's what I
matter
was
because
gonna
you have +0 proficiency bonus or +1.
Wow.
Oh no!
Oh my!
All right, so you have advantage because the creature is prone, so you don't accidentally kill Jack in the first session. All right, so 14. You bring the axe down
yes.
as Jack is distracting it, and you guys hear the crunch, and the creature goes still. Now there's 1,000 pounds of meat blocking the road.
Yeah, I guess that would have been the damage. And I guess he'll kind of put the axe to the side and look at Eric and Jack and be like, "Move." Pointing at the moose to help him move it.
All right. Are you pushing it off the cliff, or are you pushing it up against the hill?
Probably off the cliff.
Holy shit! All right. Okay. We're gonna do a group strength check. So whoever's helping, give me athletics checks, and I need a certain amount before you can push this creature.
Will we have advantage because we're all doing this, or is this just?
No, we're just adding everybody's checks together just to kind of see what kind of contribution everybody is making towards this this thing. All right, Darius. All right, you're doing most of the work. Jack is definitely helping. Eric has a hand on the moose. Eric, he's touching the moose.
You see him just not really wanting to be near it. He's just putting minimum effort into it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to look like he's not helping, but Eric is not helping Darius.
Darius just looks at him and is just back into it.
All right, you guys strain and heave and push. This is the grinding of pebbles and the snapping of twigs, and then all at once the thing just flips over the side. And you watch it kind of free fall for a bit, and then it hits the rocks, and it's horrible. And we'll fade to black. But you have cleared the road.
I'm happy they didn't let anybody.
All right. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Cutting to Reed and Adrian. No, I'm just kidding.
Fucking
The sky is raining moose.
All right. So with that obstacle dealt with, you guys could roleplay amongst yourselves. I suppose after an event like that, you guys wouldn't all just like robots get back into your cars. So...
I think Darius will kind of go back to his car, take the water bottle, kind of wash off the axe, and put it back in Tyrion's truck and be like, "Thanks."
All right.
Oh, thank you. And I'll be sort of chatting with Mackenzie the whole time because I see if this is freaking her out.
She actually seems like in this crisis, she was stressed about the moose, but your injury and the
sort of grounded her.
Yeah, and the violence don't seem to bother her. It was the cries from the animal and the fate of the animal that seemed to be stressing her out. All right. Jack, you see this this lady. She seems pretty capable. She seems to be tending to Tiernan's foot. At a glance, you could tell that is a break.
Tell him.
Yeah.
If she knows what she's doing, I'll let her be. But
Oh, nice. All right. Jack does not mansplain. So yeah, once you're patched up, she says, "Are you going to the retreat?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah. So you needed a weekend of meditation away from technology?
I guess I looked down at my foot. It looks like it's going to be more stationary meditation than I had previously planned for.
Oh, well, the website showed all sorts of stuff you could do that you won't have to walk around, but I don't recommend you do any of the hiking.
That's probably some good advice.
All right, well, Darius, you ready?
You'll just give her a nod.
All right.
Guess I'll see you there.
Washing off the blood a little bit. He'll
Yeah,
kind of look at, I guess, Tyrion's broken foot, and then look at Mackenzie, and then kind of look at Tyrion.
It's fine. I only need 1 foot to drive.
You sure?
Yeah, it'll be fine.
All right. And then he'll get back in the car.
So, Jack, you get back in the car?
Yeah.
All right,
Eric. Eric's going to walk over Tyrion for a moment.
All right, and Tiernan, and
Tiernan, sorry.
Yeah.
This is why you shouldn't approach large creatures.
I mean,
A
you're not
lesson.
wrong.
What a little Johnny moment. What a little Johnny moment. I'll explain that at the end of the session what a little Johnny moment is, but that's definitely some low charisma at work right there. Tiernan, you received the best advice you've had all day from this random guy.
I'll keep that in mind in the future. Thank you.
I also see that you had a hand at, saw you. Are you by some chance a lumberman?
Oh no, it's just a little handy. It was for the retreat.
Very well. Your foot's gonna be okay?
Eventually.
Some day to start things off, huh?
Yeah. It'll be a nice, relaxing retreat for me now. Body's guaranteed it.
Well, you go take care now, okay?
You too.
But, piece of advice from one such as myself to another. It's best to aim at a distance. Go for the temple, quick and easy.
Are you giving that advice to Darius or?
Tiernan.
Oh, okay. Because he's not the one that killed it with the axe. That was Darius killed it with the axe.
No, I'm letting Tiernan know. That's not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's best to just stay away from large creatures.
If you ever have to murder a moose again, Tiernan, you have now received even more good advice today.
Or just any large creature in general, just.
I like how no one questions the fact that this guy has an axe in his truck. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
looking for a
thinking-
hockey mask.
I'm thinking that might be the best approach in the future.
I mean, it's a wood chopping axe, right? It's
Yeah.
Like if
That's Eric's knowledge. It's like, oh, that's normal.
Oh yeah, I'm a city boy though. So
Scarred up face, axe in the back of his truck.
Hey, I'm a country boy, okay?
I'm gonna bring you guys over to Durst's Manor. All right. So there should be a camera bat over here to show you what it looks like from a distance.
Yep.
The only thing that's not accurate about this is there are no other houses, so I didn't Photoshop the other houses out in the background. But it is
Just black over there.
yeah, it's just more trees. This place is completely isolated. All right,
I'm not
so-
sure if the bot's giving is giving vision.
Oh, if you
Yeah.
left click off your mini, you should be able to see through the bat. But let me double check.
Yeah, okay.
This is a great test.
I'm not seeing anything.
All right.
No, I can,
Oh,
I
I see
can
it.
see it now.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to zoom out.
Yeah. So in
Oh,
Foundry,
okay.
in Foundry, if you have multiple vision, if you aren't selecting a miniature, it'll give you vision from everything that you can see from. So that's how you can see out of cameraman. Lex, you should have a camera bat just for you.
Yeah, I
and,
saw
you
that
know,
in the folder.
All right. Now it sucks because in a horror game, the less you know, the more scared you're going to be. So as the cameraman, you're probably going to know more than you should. So I'll leave it up to your discretion as a streamer how much you want to see and how much you don't want to see, and trust that you won't metagame knowledge that you wouldn't have.
I'll ask you when I should put down a camera for the audience or not.
Okay, that works.
Or at least try to
all right.
remember to.
As you guys arrive, the groundskeeper is there. He looks like a guy of maybe Eastern European descent. He has very bushy and sly eyebrows. His eyes look a bit cruel, but very intelligent and cunning. He has very nice long hair that is a bit ill-kept, and he has a sort of devil's goatee, very pointy mustache, very pointy beard, and he has the classic sharp crow sort of nose kind of poking down. He has a big smile on his face, and those of you with training in insight, it seems to be a legitimate smile. He is wearing a white work shirt with a sort of green outdoor windbreaker kind of jacket on, denim pants and work boots, and he does have tools kind of strapped to his belt, like like a hammer and measuring tape, and looks like he got a ring of keys and stuff like that. He instructs you guys where to park. You kind of park along the side of the building. There's like a little lot in the back. And as you guys are parking and heading towards the front door, an Uber arrives and it drops off Izzy, and that's where the exchange that you heard earlier takes place. Where he's like, "It should have been your brother," and then she just kind of throws up her hands in a, shit happens kind of way. Reed and Adrian, you guys show up. And as you are parking and approach, you see this guy and this lady kind of arguing. The lady is either blind or just carrying a white cane for style. You're not sure. But she and this burn victim are having a small argument. Everyone looks a bit shaken up, but the man she's arguing with, in addition to his terrible scars, it looks like he got a real bad bump on the head. His head's bandaged, and he is also has a sort of a walking stick situation that he's kind of keeping pressure off of one of his feet.
I kind of lean over to Adrian and just say, "God, looks like this is a last-ditch relationship retreat for everybody."
Yeah, but if it's
going that well.
All right, hear me out, and I don't want to be rude, but do you see that old dude over there? Look at how young his partner is. I mean, I don't want to say anything, but I feel uncomfortable about that. You know?
I kind of just give him the eye, like as if I'm not an actor and haven't seen those type of relationships before.
He says, I mean, age is just a number, but she looks so young and he looks so old. Like, I guess they're trying to make it work, though, so respect for that. All right.
Yeah. I look over at Jack and Dana, too, and kind of pause.
Yeah, so Dana leans into you, Jack, and says, I don't think any of these people are fathers and daughters, Dad. Are we at the right retreat?
Think so.
Okay.
How old? What's the age of about everybody else? Like 20s?
It looks like these guys are pretty close in age. I think they're early 20s.
Eric's late 20s.
Okay, and this guy's late teens, early 20s.
Late teens, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then you've got Darius and Mackenzie, who are what, mid 20s?
Yeah. She's mid 20s. He's like a couple months younger than her.
Okay. Tiernan is what? Like
Tiernan's early 30s.
30s? Okay.
He just looks older.
This
and
one
Izzy's
is hard to
like
tell, yeah.
Late 20s, probably.
Yeah, okay. And then these two over here seem to be mid 20s.
Yeah, Adrian, about mid 20s, Reed, and Adrian is about to turn 30, which is a touchy subject.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, so the man says, welcome. You have come for the technology purge retreat, eh?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Vasily said you were coming. I have a clipboard here. He doesn't have a clipboard. He has a small notepad in his back pocket, and he takes it out. He confirms all of your identities, and he says, it seems we are missing two. Hey, I'm sure they're just delayed. I hope the drive up was scenic and beautiful, eh?
Moose.
Yeah, it seems maybe there was a moose, got attacked by like a bear.
Oh, yes, the bears are very, very feisty right now. They're getting ready for hibernation. So, if you're doing any hunting or hiking or fishing or picnicking this weekend, just be on the lookout.
Adrian or Reed listens for a minute to the gentleman, turns to Adrian and says, "Beware of moose and squirrel."
Adrian quietly laughs, but tries not to laugh too hard. And then this guy says, my name is Ergol, and I am a property manager for this estate. It's owned by the Durst family. As you can see, it is a stone building, an old stone building. When the first settlers came to this Washington state, they built this manor. Over time, for aesthetics, they added the log cabin motif, but the bones of this building are ancient stone. Well, I guess let me show you inside. And as you look around, you see the grounds are very well tended. There is a statue over here of, if you didn't know any better, like Apollo from like Greek mythology. He's got like the laurels, he's got the curly, tight cropped hair, the resplendent face, the sort of toga robe situation. He's sort of making like a buddy cross or buddy Christ, kind of like not peace sign, but like holding up his hand and supplication as if he's blessing someone. It seems like a weird feature. It's also facing towards the house, which seems weird. Why they wouldn't have it kind of face away from the house or any other direction. And he heads up the stairs and he opens the doors and you see a resplendent, like opulent entry hall. Marble and tile floor, inlay. There's paintings on the walls. There's more of those statues that you saw up front. 4 more of the same guy in slightly different poses, indicating that they weren't just like cast from a mold or something, that these were actual sculptures made of the same figure over and over again. Incredible wooden stairs with ornate banisters lead to a landing that leads to a second floor that you can kind of look up and see the second floor. So it looks down from up top. It's got one of those like landings or whatever. There are double doors to the west, to the east, and to the north, and a smaller door to the northeast. As you look around the room, you do see a portrait of a family on the wall, and it seems to depict a family dressed in like old-timey Renaissance clothes. It is a man, a woman, and their 3 children. And that painting is like right here between those 2 statues. And it looks like the man is holding a baby. And the wife doesn't seem too into the baby. She seems a little, seems like she does not like that baby. And then there are 2 children. One is a short, fat boy, maybe age 5 or 6. And one is a taller girl, maybe 11 or 12 tops. And again, they do seem to be posing for this. This is not a photograph from what you could tell. It is an actual oil painting. So whoever painted this felt the need to make the mother looked like she really didn't like the baby, which seems like a weird touch.
Probably needs changed.
Seeing your gaze go to the painting, Aragorn says, yes, that is the Durst family. They are the original owners of the estate.
Any relation to Fred?
The singer with the crackers. No, the biscuits. No, I don't think so. Perhaps. I've never asked.
Can Eric's going to take out his camera hanging from the side and just snap a photo of the painting.
You like to take photographs. Well, there's beautiful scenery. Feel free to photograph. You will have full access to the house, except for the areas that are locked. Mr. Van Holtz is sort of the investor of this property nowadays. He just has certain areas of the house that are off limits. So just keep that in mind. I do have bad news. The third floor of the house is currently under renovations. There were some mold that needs to be dealt with, so that area is off limits. Unfortunately, that means there's not enough beds and bedrooms for everyone. But do not worry, I have set up cots for you. And he opens the door to this opulent ballroom. And you can see, like, storm shelter at the local elementary school. He has laid out 8 cots. They're just kind of, like, haphazardly placed around the room.
Darius
Theater
just
of the
turns.
mind, because I didn't put cots down, but theater of the mind, yeah.
Darius just turns and looks at Mackenzie with the look of the fuck.
Aragorn says, now there are 3 beautiful bedrooms upstairs, but you'll have to figure that out on your own. So, just, I'm sure peaceful negotiations, you'll be able to solve everything you need. What else? Yes, food. This way. If you're looking for something to drink, this all-inclusive package includes access to bar. It is over there by piano. Second bar over there. If you run out of alcohol, there is some down in the cellar. That is also where the kitchen is. As you know from your website brochure book, there was no staff on hand. This is a very back to basics experience. So, if you follow me through the dining room, and the dining room is ridiculously opulent. Crystal and fine china. There's a fire burning in the fireplace. Everywhere you look, there's like beautiful yet somewhat creepy artwork. Wood paneling on the walls, parquet wood floors, expensive rugs. Everything is like very, very opulent. Like this is a MTV Cribs mansion tour style. This is not just a bed and breakfast. Like you are in essentially a very small mansion.
Eric's going to raise his hand up.
Yes, you're not in school. What's up, sir?
By some chance, would there be cleaners coming in later today?
Cleaners?
Yes, there's blood all over the floor.
Blood?
Listen, I'm sorry.
He says, I mean, perhaps, yes, not today. I'll be back tomorrow. I live down the road. I'll be back tomorrow to check in on you. Anyways, the kitchen is down these stairs. You have access to whatever ingredients you'd like to cook yourself food. Don't plan on getting the grub hubs up here. They don't deliver. And also, there is no cell signal.
Looking around the place, is it wired for electricity or is it like old gas lamps? Or I mean,
It looks like a gas lamp situation.
Okay.
What a rustic place we've got here. Opulent, but rustic.
The perfect place for you to find a new path to disconnect from the world that has taken so much from you, eh? Let's see. There's a shed out these doors here. It should have the things you need for fishing, hunting, hiking. Yeah, well, I guess that's everything. Well, I'm going to head home. You have a few hours left of daylight if you'd like to take in the natural sights. Just keep an eye out for bears, huh?
If you don't mind me asking before you go, who... This house, it looks... pretty well maintained.
Oh, I am flattered that you would say that. I am the groundskeeper. I do my best to... property manager, I suppose, is the right word. I keep everything looking nice. It is a lot of house for one man to manage, but you could say that I feel called to do so.
Seems to me like you're doing a great job.
Your words are very kind, and they are appreciated. Yes. This house, it didn't tell many stories. It has seen much. Well, I must hurry home. My husband and daughter are probably waiting.
Quickly, you said that there was another group of people that were coming.
Oh, there were supposed to be 2 others, but perhaps they're just delayed. If they come knocking later, be dear and let them in, I suppose. Now, obviously, you are all here to meet with Dr. Vasily von Holtz, and do not worry, he will be here tomorrow.
Very well. Thank you.
All right, and he kind of heads out.
As soon as he closes the door, Eric's going to lean over to Matthew. Go find us the bedroom quick.
All right. Matthew rushes up the stairs.
Now, I don't want to presume, but do you think it's all right if I take one of the bedrooms?
Of course. You find a spare room.
Seems like I'll probably be spending a lot of time laid out.
Certainly.
Yeah, that's when Izzy turns to you and says, yeah, I wanted to say something, but you're hurt, aren't you?
It was just the moose.
Wait.
It's...
What?
Okay, I may have broken my foot.
Wait, you broke your foot dealing with a moose?
Blocking.
Well, the moose... Yeah, really, I broke my foot stumbling away from the moose.
You're going to have to explain everything, because that sounds crazy. I just had to deal with an overly flirtatious driver.
Yeah.
It started to get
Come on,
really
we're
creepy
gonna
when he was asking me what color kissing was if you're blind.
He realizes blind is different than synesthesia, right?
I tried to explain.
All right, come on. I'll lead you up the steps. We just gotta go up near the railing.
I will help Tunin since he's going to be struggling doing stairs.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like Mackenzie would also be there because she was tending to him earlier.
You realize that Izzy does not need any help going up and down the stairs. In fact, she is helping Tiernan not fall down the stairs. She is extremely capable, which indicates that she is either very dexterous or has kind of grown up with this condition or spent many, many years adapting to it. She seems to get around just fine.
Was Eric able to tell if Izzy was blind? Would he have been able to?
Let's see. I would say that anybody trained in medicine or insight, you would know right away that she is actually
If you
blind.
heard the part where she was talking about the Uber driver.
Yeah,
she's blind.
she also said out loud that the Uber driver was being very problematic about hitting on her and also somehow being insensitive to her being blind.
Okay.
He did not.
I didn't hear that part. My bad.
Yeah. No worries.
Reed is going to give up the quest for a bedroom scene. Other people go upstairs, and he will appropriate the study with the bar as their bedroom because a cot is not going to work for him, and he's just going to take the whole study.
Oh, jeez. All right. Adrian says, I mean, I guess this is like survival of the fittest weekend.
Seems like it. I don't know who these people are.
Well, I hope it's not this door. This door's locked.
All right.
Where was the kitchen again?
In the basement.
In the basement. Okay.
All right. So as you're exploring, you open this door to the north, and you see an incredible library. A gas fireplace burns to the north. There's floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, and they are lined with books and scrolls, which seems kind of weird, and unusual knickknacks.
Interesting.
All right. You open the door here to a study. There is a writing desk. There is a comfy chair that you could dramatically stare into the gas fireplace. There is an actual suit of armor in the corner of the room. And there is an old-timey footlocker or chest located next to a globe. It's one of them old-timey sepia tone kind of globes where everything's sort of brown and tan and whatnot.
Very nice.
On the landing here, there is a door that leads to a bedroom. Matthew is sitting on the bed defensively, ready to die to protect it. against any that might try to take it. You see that there are 2 more suits of armor straight out of the Renaissance Festival on armor stands, standing guard, as it were, over some double doors that lead out to a balcony that is directly above the front step.
Eric takes a picture.
So
Ask
far,
Eric-
you guys have seen no bathrooms in the house. You do see at the end of the hallway is a mirror. The mirror is very large, maybe 6 feet wide and 8 feet tall. You can clearly see yourselves as you walk towards it. It's almost a bit unsettling. Flanking the mirror are 2 doors that would lead north and south.
Ask Eric any other bedrooms you found.
Yeah, Mackenzie, that door is locked, the ones to the north.
Mm-hmm.
You discover a bedroom. It is warm and cozy. Mackenzie, give me a perception check.
Perception.
Okay, you could have sworn that you heard footsteps in the room as you were opening the door. But looking around, you don't see anyone there.
That probably startles her for a little bit.
Mhm.
And then she turns and realizes that Darius is not there and will call down for Darius.
Okay.
Who then, because he was just like, I'm going to just set up in these cots here. I don't
Yeah,
care
yeah.
for the rooms. And then he hears Mackenzie's voice and he's be like, slowly kind of make his way up there.
Okay.
Eric's going to tell Matthew to stay as he goes back to the car to grab their bags.
Matthew looks a little put out by that, but you are an older relative he looks up to, so he will take it not as you telling a dog to stay, but you giving him the very important job of making sure you guys have a nice room for the weekend. All right.
He might take it the wrong way. I mean, he's very bad at impressions.
All right, you find another bedroom. All of the bedrooms have queen-sized beds. And they have, sofas to sit upon. They have gas fireplace. I mean, they're really nice. If these were like Airbnb rooms, they would be like $1,000 a night, kind of deal. This is very, very fancy. Inside the room, Tiernan, you see there is a door to the north. All right, opening the door, there is a bathroom. It's about 15-foot by 15-foot bathroom. It's got a clawfoot tub. And there is a toilet, like over here, and a sink, kind of against the wall here. But it definitely feels like an old-fashioned, like, bathroom. Like, if there is hot water, maybe there's like a boiler, like a gas boiler that heats the water, but all the pipes and plumbing equipment look pretty old, but well-maintained. Tiernan, you hear the drip, drip, drip of water, and you look and you see that the faucet for the tub is just dripping just a little bit, but maybe it's the head blow that you took, but like every drip just feels like someone's pulling on your molars. And it just sort of drip, drip, drip in the background.
He's gonna guess that this goes up to the other bedroom. Yeah. He's gonna retreat from the molar pulling drip sound. And just collapse onto the couch.
Okay.
You alright?
I'm gonna be. Found the bathroom.
Mm.
Kind of weird that you'll have to come through one of the bedrooms to get to it, but
Weird advertising. And I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
On the website, those of you that looked at the website, they didn't lie to you, but all the pictures you saw were of the nicest things. And there was no mention of like no electricity. There was no mention of one bathroom that was like shared between 2 bedrooms. There was no mention of a there was a reading room, but it certainly didn't show you the size and scope of this private library. There was a ballroom which looked like it was much bigger, honestly, for like events and stuff like that. This is a much more like cozy rich family hosting people for a dinner party dancing room kind of thing. And the dining area in the site, it looked more like there was sort of lots of separate tables, but instead there's just one big table. Just a lot of inconsistencies between what you were advertised and what you're actually seeing.
That will lead to an argument between Reed and Adrian.
Okay. And Adrian's the one who saw the ad and stuff, right?
Correct.
Okay. And he says, how was I supposed to know? Like, this is a Dr. Vasily. I mean, I looked at his page. He had a lot of content, and then like you didn't, I showed you the pictures. You saw the same pictures I saw. It looked great.
And yet we are sleeping on sofas probably as old as this house. There is nobody to prepare dinner. And I had to carry my luggage myself. And you know how hard that is for me.
Well, look, I'm sure there's like 10 people here. I'm sure somebody's going to know how to cook.
What, the guy with the gaping head wound? Or the blind girl?
Well, first of all, insensitive. Blind people can cook. And secondly, maybe that guy is a cook. I don't know. He's definitely been around fire.
And Adrian is, probably pretty insensitive and very self-centered. Or, sorry, Reed. And he's like, well, I'm not doing it.
Okay, well, you know what? Why don't you just wait here, and I will go talk to people about dinner. Because, I'm pretty hungry. It was a long drive. And he heads out to find everybody. He calls up the stairs. Hey, does anybody know how to cook?
I was just in the middle of asking my nephew for something to eat. I could probably cook us up something.
Matthew says, I could cook, but I don't. There's no internet. There's no Wi-Fi, man. How am I supposed to look up recipes?
You don't need to look up recipes.
Yeah, you do. Like,
do you know the basics?
Do you know how to cook?
Yes.
What are you gonna make?
Boil some rice.
Boiled rice, man. I'm on vacation. I'm not gonna have boiled rice on vacation. I want something nice.
I'm gonna see if they have any chicken or steak or something.
Uh-huh. All right. He looks around like somebody's gonna try to steal this room if he leaves. Should I stay with the room? You need help cooking?
I can manage on my own. Just stay up here, look around.
Look around. It's boring, man. There's no Wi-Fi. There's nothing. I know it's a tech retreat, but like, dang. Why would you agree to this? Why would you drag me along? It's weird.
I did.
And that Russian guy? I don't trust him.
Eric stops before he says anything.
Mm-hmm.
I figured you could use a break from the city life.
Use a break from the city life? Oh, okay, so you're trying to be my dad now. Okay, I see how that is. All right, wow. Listen to me. My life is fine. I came here for you because everybody's worried about you. And they wanted me to try to keep an eye on you. Don't say that you're keeping an eye on me, old man.
Eric doesn't say anything.
And he closes the door.
He raises a hand out, but then puts it down, and he just gives a heavy sigh. I swear, this generation. And he'll go downstairs and look to the basement where the kitchen is.
Okay. All right. So, everybody is sort of poking around. As you walk past Adrian, he tries to stop you. He sees kind of the look on your face, and he says, he calls down to you. So you're cooking enough for everybody, right? Right?
Yeah.
All right, and he starts to follow you. Like, he's gonna keep an eye on you.
Where's the basement in this place?
The guy says, didn't you listen? It's over here, man.
There's just so much stuff here.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. Let's go down and take stock of things, I guess. All right. So over here, a lot of people hanging out in the southwest bedroom. Dana looks around and says, "Yeah. I'm definitely no. This is like a father daughter like parent sibling retreat where you're supposed to, there's like activities to help you like bond and stuff like that without technology getting in the way. I don't know. I didn't like the idea at first, but I think it's kind of cool. I don't know."
Darius just looks at Mackenzie.
Is that not what you guys signed up for?
No.
And Jack,
Why are
you
you
can
guys
tell
here?
that Dana is freaked out.
Okay, do my best to comfort her.
Okay.
Let her know it's
Jesus.
gonna be okay. Just stay with me. These people are nice. This guy
Do you
needs some help.
Okay. Do you think it was like a scheduling issue? Is that the problem? Like maybe they do like couples retreats some weekends and they do parent kid retreats other weekends?
I don't know. Do you want to leave?
I mean, I don't know. It's getting kind of dark, and do you want to make that drive down the mountain now, or do you
No.
wanna just... Okay.
Tell Darius, good job with the axe earlier.
He'll just nod his head.
Tiernan, have you filled Izzy in yet on the moose, the axe, all that?
Yeah, that would have been what we spent the whole time walking around looking for rooms.
Oh, gotcha. You guys hear the Addams Family theme start up from somewhere else in the house.
I can give you a performance check if you need
Yeah,
to.
sure. Yeah, give me a performance check.
Okay.
Okay, it
Oops,
is.
sorry.
No, you guys listen. It is passable. You knew what the music was. It's better than like a high school musical, but it's maybe not professional quality. But...
Accurate.
Oh dang, Mackenzie putting you in the friend zone publicly right away.
They'll look at Darius when she says that.
Yeah, and she looks. I'm gonna put it out there. She looks right at Tiernan as she makes sure to emphasize that she and Darius are just friends, so that Tiernan knows that she is just friends with Darius.
Darius just
I was supposed to be here for like a best friends retreat thing that my idiot friend Ignacio set up, but then he just sent his sister instead.
Izzy says, well, Iggy thinks that you and I are friends, and I know that listen, he's been trying to hook us up for years.
I know.
I think it's a little insulting because he thinks that because I'm blind, I'm going to be like, I don't know, less disgusted by your hideous appearance or whatever. But you let me feel your face, and I know you've been through a lot, and that's never been an issue for me. Even if I could see the scars that you bear, I've seen the person that you are, Tiernan. And you're a good man. I don't mind spending the weekend with you. I'll even share a bed with you. I just, don't get fresh.
We've got to get him back somehow, though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. I can spend all the time that I have to lay here not doing anything, thinking of ways to get back with your brother.
Once I get Wi-Fi again, I'm signing him up for that conservatives only dating site. We'll see how that goes.
I'm sure he'll love that.
I think Mackenzie would chime in and say, if you all need extras or background actors to kind of make this a little bit more official, I think we can help in that.
All right,
I knew I liked you, and it was more than just the fact that you made sure my foot didn't fall off.
So down in the basement, Eric, you come down to what is like a very old-fashioned castle dungeon style kitchen, but like industrial size and strength. You don't understand how a home that only has 3 bedrooms would necessitate a kitchen of this quality and size. The map is beautiful, but there are not like food and ingredients out all over the place. There's not a dog or whatever this is roasting in the fire. But it is a old-fashioned and very big, very clean, and very well-stocked kitchen. Adrian lets out a low whistle and says, some Game of Thrones stuff going on. What is this like? Look at all these ingredients. They're all like labeled in clay jars.
You don't label your own food?
We get a lot of delivery.
Also accurate.
What happened to doing things the old-fashioned way?
Oh, what's in here? There's some doors.
What?
Eric, as you walk that way, you feel a sudden chill pass over you. It feels like for just a moment your heart stopped.
Well, since we're down here, look for some tools and utensils. See if they have any plates or bowls.
Okay, so he starts looking through the shelves and stuff for that. You do see that these places right here, down the hall, may or may not be like storage for food. There's also a door to the north. And you guys should be able to see if you click off of your mini, because I put a camera bat down there for everybody.
Eric's going to travel down and, yeah, he'll check out the door. See, this is where the food is preserved.
You hear Adrian cry out. And he says, hey, hands off! And then he says, huh? Hey, Eric, are you messing with me?
No. I'm down by the hall.
He rushes around the corner, down to the hall. Oh man, you're really far away. All right. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm just tired. He goes back to looking for ingredients.
What's wrong with him?
All right. As you go look inside, it is full of dry goods. You see, like, in all those like bomb shelter situations or like food pantry kind of thing, it's just full of canned ingredients, dry goods, canned ingredients, that sort of thing.
Could make some spices out of this. Now, where's the chicken at? And you'll see Eric begin to take a few of the dry goods.
Okay. All right. So while you're doing that, up in the rest of the house, what are you guys up to? What's going on with Reed besides playing some music?
At this point, he's probably going to get fairly nervous that it's been a while because he doesn't like to be alone. So he's probably going to start actually exploring now for the first time.
Oh, okay. I might have some information for you then. But,
He looks out, like, hello? Hello? Oh, of course. And then he starts imitating Aragol. It's like, and over here. It just starts pointing out random things. And oh, great. Mass food with everybody. Probably not a theater goer amongst them.
you see, Reed, a woman steps out of the door over here.
Yeah, I try to get her attention, and I'm like, excuse me, miss, do you work here?
She nods.
Oh, good. I was wondering, does she look like she's dressed like...
She is dressed like an old-timey maid.
Maid.
Like a Sense and Sensibility, like house servant, like maid.
Yes. Oh, I didn't realize you guys really committed to the act. It's kind of like a...
She gives you a strained smile, and she says, "We try our best."
Oh well, I'm my partner and I, we're staying in the study just across from the main hall. Can you perhaps set that up for like a turn down service? And
You are guest of the master.
do you mean Mr. Holtz?
She doesn't seem to know that name. She says, "Mr. Durst or Mrs. Durst."
Is this like a murder mystery? Wondering if like maybe the events are confused. They double booked the weekend.
Oh, I hope not.
And what was your name, Miss?
I think perhaps I should ask you what your name is and why you're here in the house.
Oh, sure. I'm Reed Sterling. You've probably heard of me.
Ah, sterling like silver.
Yes, actually.
What a beautiful name.
Thank you. And you say you've been employed. And he just looks kind of confused about how things are going on. And he goes, "Look, it's just us. You don't have to keep the act up."
Why are you here, though? You are a guest of the master, yes?
We're here for the weekend. Kind of a get away from technology, heal your relationship, some sort of retreat. Are you employed by the Aragal?
She stares at you blankly.
Oh, wow,
You say that you're
very
in
committed.
the. You say that you're in the study upstairs.
Oh no, I guess would it be like a sitting room or a lounge?
Ah, yes, the music room.
Yes.
It seems an odd place to stay. Why not in the guest room upstairs?
Oh, they, I believe, are already claimed by the other guests.
Other guests. Oh, you're definitely guest of the master and the mistress. They must be having one of their weekends.
Weekends.
Well, I hope you enjoy yourself, Mr. Sterling.
Well, Miss, are the master and mistress here?
Oh, they're here.
Upstairs?
Perhaps. Well, again, I have much to attend to, Mr. Sterling. Enjoy your stay. And she walks out of the room and closes the door.
Okay. I will shake my head at the second or third odd encounter of the day, and I will try the doors going downstairs.
Okay. Yeah, you see stairs leading down.
Okay. I will do that.
All right. You smell. Eric, you started cooking. What are you cooking, Eric?
Do I find any
Without a recipe, and without your phone, what are you cooking? And it looks like without training in cook's tools. So what are you making?
Look, does anyone have any? Okay, some beef, some brown stew. You know, seasoning, chicken, that sort of thing.
Okay. All right.
Do I need to roll a check for that?
You'll definitely need to roll a check. You're making brown stew for 10 people with no recipe and no skill at cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. So while you're dealing with that nightmare, what's happening upstairs? Dana and Jack, you guys went to this door, this room in the north, and there's a locked door in the top right corner of the room.
Guessing it's a closet or a bathroom.
Well, if it's another bathroom, that'd be nice, Dad, but didn't that Aragon guy say that we weren't supposed to go places that were locked? There's some kind of mold or something?
Oh, right. Got it.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll probably just deposit our good belongings here and then go see what everybody else is doing elsewhere. Looks like Tiernan's comfortable and not going to hurt himself too much further. So I'd probably go check on everybody else.
All right. Is it weird? I just kind of want to stay with you because everybody's kind of strange.
No, it's fine.
Jack, as you are walking, you feel something squelch under your foot.
What'd I step on?
It seems to be a dirty cloth diaper.
Is it fresh?
Do you investigate it closer?
Yes.
All right, you kind of peel it off your foot, and it is sort of the reddish black blood of like a newborn, just that horrible sort of blood pudding kind of thing.
And this wasn't here when I walked in the room before.
You didn't smell it or notice it, but you're smelling it now. Dana gags and kind of turns away. She says, "Somebody brought a baby." Ugh.
That's kind of weird. I'll go yell and see if Tiernan or Izzy. Hey, did you guys know anybody brought a baby?
What? Says Izzy. Oh, what does that smell? Oh, it smells terrible.
Right.
Tiernan, you still keep hearing the drip, 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 from the bathroom. Dana says, "Well, I guess we just throw it away, right?"
Right. Is there any kind of waste bin around that's obvious?
Yeah, you didn't see anything. There might be one in the shed.
I'll go to the shed then.
Okay, so you begin your quest to find the shed. All right, Izzy says, "Oh, that's weird, right? That there would be a baby diaper, but no baby." Well, they did say 2 other people were coming. Do you think they brought their baby? Tiernan, hey! She starts snapping her fingers in your face.
Sorry.
You seem so distracted.
Yeah, I'm a little out of it right now on account of having my foot broken.
Oh, fair. The pain. Yeah, I got you. She says, well, I mean, I'm carrying if you need something to relax yourself a little bit.
Shit. Yeah.
Okay. So she takes out her vape and she offers it to you, and she does what people that like vape modern marijuana do, where she gives you the whole like science / salesman pitch about this particular strain and the percentage of this and the flavor and how you're supposed to feel.
Look, I just want my foot to hurt less, Izzy. we can go into details later when I'm less out of it.
Right. Sorry. All right. So Jack, you find the shed.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, there's all manner of stuff in there, including a pretty modern-looking trash can, like one of them green bins that the lid closes on and everything.
Okay. I dispose of the dirty diaper.
All right.
And I'm not going to bother with the stairs.
Okay. Yeah, there are mysterious stairs in the shed that lead down into darkness. Okay.
Totally innocent looking.
Yeah. And so the sun is beginning to set, and it's starting to get kind of dark outside. Here up in the mountains, this far north, this time of year, it gets dark early and quick. Jack, as you come into the main hallway, you hear and then see water dripping down from the second floor. It seems to be making a pool of water on the floor here, and it's just slowly drip, 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 drip.
Was there anything about where the water's dropping above us, like where the bathroom was located? Is that?
It seems to be coming from this part of the landing, so close to the bathroom, I guess.
Okay. Go upstairs and check it out.
All right, give me a dexterity save on this polished marble floor that is wet as you kind of walk across it. Oh, man. All right, so you just do a cool man slide as the water tries to trip you. Like, you deal with this kind of stuff at work, your fast-paced job, you're always moving, you're always hustling. All right, so you and Dana head upstairs. You look over, and you see that the floor and the rug here are just saturated.
Can I tell where it's coming from?
No. But as you look, the rug is discolored, as if there's just a ton of water here, and the discoloration goes all the way to the mirror here, and seems to be seeping from under the wall that is adjacent to the bathroom. Tiernan, you keep hearing the drip, drip, drip,
Do you guys see this?
That
Izzy
dripping
said,
is driving
Izzy
me
laughs.
insane.
Yeah, Izzy laughs when you say that. She says, "No, I don't actually, but I can hear some water dripping."
It's coming from under this mirror.
Oh, Tiernan, why don't you check the bathroom? Maybe there's like a leaky pipe or something.
I heard it from the bathtub earlier.
Why didn't you turn off the spigot? No, stay there. You'd hurt. I'll do it. And she kind
Thank
of
you.
confidently taps her way over. And then very slowly tries to tap her way around. Dana says, "Dad, you should help her."
Sure.
And you can tell that she's very nervous about slipping because there is a lot of water in the bathroom. The tub is actually overflowing.
Turn it off.
Okay, so you kind of move to the tub, turn off the spigot. The water in the tub is in the clawed, ivory tub is just pooling at the top, and every now and then some water just kind of dribbles down the side.
What's up with the drain? Is it closed or clogged? From what I can
As you look down, it just seems like the plug is in.
reach in and pull it out.
Okay, this is a nice deep tub. You roll up your sleeve and you kind of reach in. All right, Jack, you feel a woman's hand.
Pull my
Grab.
hand out.
All right. Izzy jumps and says, "Well, what happened? What happened? Are you all right? Are you okay?"
I think I'm really tired.
The water stopped though, right?
I'll reach back in and pull the plug out.
Okay. All right, you don't feel a woman's hand that time. You pull the plug and it makes a sickening sort of blurp, and then you hear the gurgling sound and the water slowly begins to drain. Down in the basement, you guys hear these old ass pipes, and you just hear the gurgling sound of the pipes kind of knocking around. It makes Adrian jump. Reed, Adrian seems really stressed and really upset. I'm actually going to say he's at 2 stress right now.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did something happen?
He looks over at Eric, a bit accusatory, and then he just shakes his head no.
Okay, so I met someone else upstairs.
All right, Eric, you hear that as you are making probably a disaster. And Adrian says, "Oh, so the other 2 guests showed up."
No. So, correct me if I'm wrong here because I wasn't paying that much attention. But Mr. Aragol or whatever, he said there was no other servants or anyone here this weekend, right?
Yeah, I think he said that because somebody made a joke about the blood from Scottish guy or whatever.
Yeah. So there's somebody here, like pretending to be some old timey maid, like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, is this like a LARP retreat?
Well, that's what I thought. Like maybe it's some sort of like murder mystery weekend thing, like that got double booked.
Man, I kind of wish it was, because then I wouldn't be so freaked out about how things are going, and then I think I'd get huge boyfriend points because you're in the theater and like a theater retreat. Oh man, now I kind of regret not looking for something like that.
Well, yeah. Well, I probably could have even got hired for that. I mean, a working role would be nice.
Okay, so maybe it's a surprise
Well,
LARPing experience.
maybe that's what's going on. Maybe
Okay.
That would explain these weird ass pipes. The fact that there's people here that shouldn't be here.
So earlier when I was looking for supplies, someone came up and they touched me. They put a hand over my face and my mouth. And then when I turned around, there was nobody there, and I thought, so no offense, Eric, I thought it was Eric, but when I turned the corner, he was way too far away to have gotten away with it.
Oh yeah, well like I don't know, those like amusement rides, like the 4D type things where they have like the water squirt things and the brush of air and the things are supposed to. Yeah, that's probably all it is.
Oh.
Plus, Eric, no offense. I mean, I've never been a cook, but I have been a waiter, and that doesn't smell right.
There's just a pot of brown
I didn't even get to see how well I made it.
We're just going off of looks. Brown stew looks like brown stew. All right, it might
Okay,
taste
that's
good.
true. That's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Okay.
I mean, maybe we cook up some greens or something like spinach.
I mean, there's plenty of greens inside already.
Yeah, I look around. Is there like fresh vegetables that I can look at? And
He pulled out some vegetables, and sort of coarsely chopped them up and threw them in the pot. There's a door open at the end of the hallway and a second door here, and there's a door to the north.
all right, I look for like a cold kitchen type walk-in type situation where
Okay.
we're
All right, this one is definitely cold. You don't know how it's cold, but it's dark and cold. The
Alright.
door closes behind you,
oh great.
and you find yourself in total darkness.
Hey, not funny, guys. And I try the door.
Okay.
What?
All right, now I start banging on the door.
Hey, easy.
Okay.
Eric tries to open the door.
All right. Inside the room that is dark and the door is locked, you start to hear someone sobbing.
I'm convinced. Does it sound similar to the maid?
Give me a insight or perception.
All right, we'll probably be about the same. But we'll do insight.
Yeah, you think it is the same voice.
Hey, it's just me, Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling.
As you say that, the sobbing stops.
Are you okay?
You feel a woman's hand on your chest.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. I mean, your acting
feel
wasn't that bad.
You feel a woman's lips brush against your cheek.
Oh, whoa. Not that kind of weekend, honey.
Okay. Do you try to push them away?
Gently, yeah.
Okay. As you do, the woman screams at you. Eric, the scream is so loud it shakes the door.
Back.
She is going to essentially attack you in the dark.
Oh, that's gonna go well.
Yeah. So let's see what happens here.
Oh, boy.
This is a slam attack against you.
Okay.
And it will be made at advantage because of the dark and probably surprise. Okay, that's good. That's good. Oh, all right.
Oh, all right.
So luck is on your side, and you duck down, and whatever was about to hit you, the woman's fist perhaps, slams into the door, and the door opens.
I immediately like stumble back outside.
Okay.
And go, whoa. Okay.
And as your eyes adjust back to the light, and you look around, you kind of like, I don't know what you can see of the thing. There's no one in there.
Eric, did you hear any voices other than mine?
No, I just heard screaming, banging.
Oh, okay, then that was not my scream.
Are you sure?
I mean, I like to. I'm a tenor, but I like to think it's a little deeper than that.
Eric just narrow eyes look at you. Are you sure? Absolutely sure.
You guys hear a flicker and a sputter, and the gas fireplace goes out.
Son of a bitch!
Oh, now.
God damn it!
I just kind of look back at the open door and kind of go a little closer to Adrian.
Okay. Adrian says, "What happened? I know that wasn't your scream. Was there somebody in there?"
Yeah, that same crazy maid from before, sobbing her eyes out, and then she tried to kiss me, and well, I mean, I pushed her away gently,
Yeah.
and yeah, she goes all crazy on me, like
We didn't
Glenn
sign any
was
consent.
crazy.
Yeah, we didn't sign any consent forms. I've been to one of those haunted houses. They make you sign a consent form.
Yeah, they can't touch you.
Right. Okay. So she in there now?
There's nobody there.
Well,
There must be like some sort of,
okay. Well,
secret door panel thing.
let's look for it then.
Oh, I'm not going back in there, not alone. Well, come with me.
He looks a little nervous about it. Eric, these two guys seem pretty shaken up. And you are just trying to relight the fire before your soup doesn't cook all the way, or your stew.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I'm hearing this at the same time.
Okay, so do you worry about them, or do you worry about getting the fire started again?
He looks over to those two. Doesn't really know them that well. Sees that they're maybe they're kind of together, and doesn't really want to impede on that.
Okay.
He'll
As
just...
you are watching them, you hear a sputtering sound, and the fire comes back on.
Oh shit! Oh, thank God.
All right. So upstairs, Jack, you said you needed to lay down. There is a door to the north that leads to the room that you and Dana kind of are taking. Do you close the door to the bathroom or leave it open?
Sure. Close it.
Okay, you close it. All right. Izzy kind of carefully feels her way out, and she says, "We're gonna need to find some towels or something, because if people need the bathroom, we don't want them slipping when they come up here."
Yeah, so that was really weird, right? Like, we were just in there, not even that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, we had the door open too. I could hear the water, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Where would you even look for? I mean, I don't know where to find towels here. That guy said he'll be back tomorrow. At least we'll be able to double check then. But I would rather clean it up before.
I don't know. I don't want to give up the bedding, even with the fireplace. This place is a little drafty and cold. Otherwise, I'd say we could throw the bedding down. What if there's extra blankets downstairs with the cots? Not everyone's using a cot. We could take some of the blankets from there.
Yeah, that'll work. Here, I'll come with you.
Are you sure? Do you want to rest, or?
No, it'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Izzy calls into the room and says, "Jack, Dana, we're going to get some blankets and maybe sheets to try to." The hallway is completely dry. And you hear the bathroom door close.
This was wet before, right?
Jack, the bathroom is bone dry when you open the door.
I think I need to take a nap.
Dana says you want to lay down, and I'll let you know when dinner's ready, Dad.
That'll work.
This whole vacation was supposed to be so you could relax, Your job makes you so stressed, and sorry it's not going well. Okay. I guess after you, Mr. Tiernan? Mr. Bet. What was it? What should I call you?
Me?
Yeah.
Tiernan? My name?
Okay, sure. Tiernan. Yeah, okay.
You were Dana, right?
Yes. Dana Anderson.
Good to meet you, Dana Anderson.
All right. So you guys begin heading downstairs to get blankets. It's around this time, Eric, that you think that you have made roughly 8 gallons of brown stew. And that it is going to be food. All right. So while you're finishing it up, Reed and Adrian holds your hand, and you guys begin to approach what is essentially a meat locker.
Yeah.
And he peers in, and he sees all sorts of. He has his phone out. He's using the flashlight feature of his phone that doesn't require Wi-Fi. And he's looking inside, and he says, "Okay, that's creepy. There's a lot of meat just laying there, unrefrigerated.
Like animal, right?
Yeah, what other meat would it be, Reed?
Oh, I don't know.
It's like there's fish, there's some chicken, some kind of beef.
Hey, Eric, you were looking for chicken, right? It's in,
Is it too late to put some protein in there, or did you use canned stuff?
Mostly canned stuff.
This is some good looking meat.
It's not too late.
What about this barrel? I bet that's where she is. I bet she's in one of those barrels. Hey, Eric. Why don't you open one of those barrels? I bet there's a woman hiding inside.
Why would there be?
Because someone attacked Reed. Like, I don't think maliciously, but like, I think we're in some kind of like live action role play retreat. Like maybe they got all their bookings screwed up. Because this is a guy with his kid. Obviously, they're not a couple. You and your nephew, right? You're not together. Yeah. Okay, so no. Yeah, okay. Well, obviously there's a huge mix-up. So maybe the mix-up was so bad that there's supposed to be some kind of like weird haunted house murder mystery, and that's what's happening.
Yeah, Reed totally believes that, so he nods along.
Yeah.
Oh, for heaven's sakes, fine.
Okay.
Well, if anything, there's probably some secret handle, like hook or something for a door, because she had to go somewhere.
Does Eric see that?
Give me an investigation or perception.
Okay. Can Reed help out by being the back seat?
Yeah.
Sure. Things.
Oh wow. Yeah, you guys look everywhere. It is seems to be meat of a beef, pork, chicken, fish variety. They do seem to be separated by type. So even though they don't believe in refrigeration, they do at least believe in cross-contamination. The room is exceptionally cold, but you don't see any means by which it would be cold. And the barrels themselves are unlabeled.
Are you sure someone was in here?
That wasn't me screaming.
Just open the barrel. Just open the barrel.
Fine. And open it.
All right, so you open the left-hand barrel. Inside are a great many pickles, just floating in brine.
That could be useful.
And then you open the other barrel.
Uh-huh.
All right. There is sort of the acrid stink of meaty brine, and you see that there are a great many pig snouts.
Oh.
A 55-gallon barrel of pig snouts.
Reed backs up and just gags a little bit.
Oh, God. Yep, he closes it.
Yeah, Eric, as you go to close it, you see that amongst the snouts is one eyeball. Just sort of floating there and sort of gazing up at you.
Nope.
You see, you just kind of like sloppily put the lid back on and you backpedal out. All right.
Yeah.
Reed, you smell burning. And Eric, you realize that you forgot to take your stew off of the fire.
Oh, shit. No. Fuck.
Okay.
Does anyone have gloves? Is there any gloves around?
If it's like an old-timey thing, is it like on a hook? Like, you know,
yeah. It's got like a little bit of a wooden handle there that you can try to, yeah.
Yes, but fuck. He'll take off his vest, wrap it around one of his hands, and just like carefully try to maneuver it off.
All right, give me a sleight of hand.
Okay.
Oh, very nice. Okay, yeah, you expertly don't burn yourself, don't get your vest dirty, and you now have it.
He'll slam it on the table. Not slam it, but just place it on the table.
The three of you smell the stew, and now comes the moment of truth. Roll a d20 for me.
Private or just?
Yeah, that'd be great. Then you don't know for sure.
Okay, alright. How do I do private again?
Down at the bottom, there's little dice, and then there's icons. You just want to click the one that's like looks like a secret agent.
The left.
Yeah, blind GM roll.
Oh, okay, I see it.
Yeah. Because the private one will still show him what he rolled.
Okay. It doesn't smell horrible, guys. It doesn't smell horrible. All right, and I mean, with your consents, I can sort of fast travel everybody to dinner.
Sure.
Works for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm
He'll
assuming,
make sure the
Clue, you guys are all sitting at this very opulent, fancy table together to have brown stew. All right. Jack, Dana does come back for you, but before she does, you're laying on the bed, you're trying to relax, your eyes start to shut, and you finally feel a little bit of rest. And right away, you hear a baby crying.
Oh, man.
And you, I mean, as a father, right? Like it's coded in there. You immediately
Right.
spring awake.
Right.
You look, yeah. You come out into the hallway, and you see Dana turning the corner and walking towards you. Immediately, the sound stops. She says, "Hey, Dad, the food's ready."
Did you hear a baby?
A baby? No, but I mean, it would make sense, I guess, because there's got to be a baby around here if there was a diaper. Right?
Right.
Right?
Is anybody else up here?
No, it's just the two of you, as far as you know.
Where's everybody else? Let's go find them.
Okay, yeah, they're down getting dinner. All right, so I will fast travel you two down to dinner. All right, everybody seems to be at dinner except Matthew.
Oh, I meant to say that I'd call him down.
Okay.
Did you guys hear a baby?
All right, so Matthew does not answer when you call him. Do you go out and like shout louder? Also, Jack's asking about babies again.
Darius will shake
Eric-
his head no.
Eric would call louder.
Okay. You hear, sorry, just a minute, I'm coming.
All right. Make sure you
Matt-
wash your hands.
Just wash it. I'm not going all the way up to the bathroom. No offense, guys. Just eating. Hey, and Matthew kind of blushes a little bit, and he says, you guys met the maid?
But you seen the maid?
There's
There's a maid?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I was up in my room, kind of chatting her up a little bit. And you can tell that this guy is like late, right? He's late teens, early 20s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so he's like, he's very proud of himself that he chatted up this kind of older woman, and he's just kind of like, I mean, real friendly.
Yeah, Tiger, she tried to kiss me too. So maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, she succeeded on me, so.
She did not on me. And he just whispers mono to Adrian.
All right, this stew has meat in it. Do any of your characters not eat meat? Okay, good. That'll help your survival chances in Barovia tremendously. All right. It is a. Let's see. What is your intelligence modifier, Eric? It's quite. Yeah. Okay. This is actually pretty good. It looks kind of gross, but it tastes great. It's very warm. It's very filling. All sorts of nice flavors are in there. Apparently, your memory and instinct for cooking paid off this time.
He looks a bit smug, but doesn't say much, and chows down. But before he chows down, he does claps his hands together and offer anyone for prayers.
Okay.
Before digging in.
All right, this is a great question then. Do any of your characters or companions practice any sort of religion or faith in the year 2022?
I'll say Adrian is one of those like Easter Christmas kind of Christians.
Okay.
But Reed
Like,
doesn't go.
You feel the guilt of your family heavy upon you, sort of thing. So
Yeah, he's expected to, so he goes.
Okay.
I don't know how religious Darius or Mackenzie would be, but I guess they go to church service every Sunday, so.
You hear some thunder rumbling outside, and rain begins to pick up. You guys can continue. Anybody else somewhat religious or not religious or atheist or raging against the Lord, etc., etc.?
Tiernan isn't religious, and I imagine Izzy probably has like Catholic family,
Okay.
but isn't practicing herself.
Gotcha.
If it doesn't seem like anyone's offering, probably Mackenzie.
All right, yeah.
Seeing the awkward silence.
Mackenzie reaches out and grabs your hand so you don't feel so bad. Yeah, and then
Eric will just do small prayers and, services to the Lord and whatnot. and then shout out.
So yeah, as you guys are sitting in, Dana says, "Well, if there is a maid and a baby, why aren't they coming for food?"
Well, I have a theory about that, Reed says.
Okay.
So clearly we're all here for different reasons, which makes entirely no sense. And the fact that the maid is all Downton Abbey style, and there's supposedly a baby that there isn't a baby, kind of confused on that. We think maybe that they double booked this weekend for like a murder mystery type thing, like a haunted house type situation.
You hear a knock at the door here. And then the door starts to open a little bit, like slowly.
Maybe
And
the last guests arrived.
you see a fat little boy. And he looks like the boy from the picture, the painting that you saw. And the boy says, Are you eating dinner?
Yeah.
Just starting.
Oh, it smells really good. Could my sister and I? And then you hear somebody say, "Thorn, I told you we shouldn't bother them." And Thorn says, "I'm hungry though. Can we join you for dinner?"
There's plenty.
Certainly.
Oh, see, come on, Rose. It's okay. And you see the taller girl. She kind of comes into view. And they look around for chairs. They see there's 2 chairs there. And they kind of, excuse themselves. Would Adrian move for these kids? Or
Adrian would definitely like stand up or scoot in or something to make room. Yeah.
Okay, he'll scoot in. All right, sweet. So he scoots in. And then Rose kind of curtsies to all of you before sitting down. She seems to have a bit more manners than Thorn, who is younger and much more, bold and brass kind of thing. Brash. Yeah, they immediately dig into the stew like they are ravenous. And Rose is trying to have table manners. Thorn has none. He's just tipping his bowl up and he's just gug, like drinking it down.
Do we recognize the kids from the painting? Like, is it really obvious? Or
unless your character has a negative to their intelligence, you would recognize that these kids look exactly like the kids in the painting.
Okay.
About that.
If you have a negative to your intelligence, you're just like, I don't know, kids, I guess.
The painting, when we saw it, did it look like freshly painted, or did it have like the cracks that older paintings?
It looked like it was beautifully maintained, like something you'd see in a museum, either freshly done or perfectly restored.
Okay, all right. So I'm still Reed's totally buying into the murder mystery weekend then.
Okay. The kids don't say much. They just eat. And I'm assuming you brought up like a basket of like bread and stuff like that to go with the stew, and they're just taking that and they're just dipping it in. They're asking for seconds, and the kid just says, "Who made this? My compliments to the chef."
Oh, thank you.
Wow, this is the best food we've had in a really long time. So good.
I'll lean into the acting, which I assume this is. So Rose, you and Thorn live here?
Yes, this is our parents' home. Wouldn't you know that? Wait.
Oh,
why are
yeah,
you here?
We're guests of the master and mistress.
Oh, that makes sense. Father and mother have many guests.
Where are they?
Oh, they're probably downstairs. Yeah, Thorn looks grumpy. He says, "They're always downstairs. Or Father's always in his office. But we're not supposed to go downstairs. They said there's a monster downstairs."
Monster?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen this monster?
Mm-mm. They both shake their heads.
Do you by chance have a little brother or sister?
Oh. And Thorn looks at Rose, and Rose nods, and Thorn says, "That's baby Walter. He cries all the time until he doesn't."
Who brought up the baby? Was it you, Jack?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll look over across the table at Jack and just kind of give him like a shrug.
just looking at the kids, taking their measure.
Rose says, "I didn't want another baby brother, but sometimes the Morning Lord gives you what you need, not what you want."
Morning Lord?
You know, god of the sun, of the sunrise, patron of humanity. His statues are all over the house to protect us from evil.
I'll describe the statue outside. Like,
Yeah, he's very handsome.
Would Eric know what that means?
may
Would it be his
attempt-
interpretation of,
You
Christianity?
could do a knowledge religion, intelligence religion. I mean, you've heard Jesus called many things. Morning Lord, maybe. So maybe they're talking about Jesus. When Mackenzie asks, you mean like God, like the Father of Jesus? They say, I don't know if the Morning Lord has any kids, or if their name is Jesus. But he's a god, one of many, but the god who has chosen to protect humanity from the dark.
Oh, so are you like Orthodox Jewish then, or?
They both have no idea what words you're saying. They are very good actors, these children.
Yeah, I'm a little jealous.
Thorn is on his third bowl of stew at this point, and on his fifth roll. And Rose says, "You need to stop, or you're going to pop."
Yeah, Thorn, we don't know what this does on the back end.
And Thorn laughs, and he says, "I bet it'll make me fart. Do you want to hear me fart?"
No, it's all right, Thorn. I believe you.
Rose looks so embarrassed by her
It's
brother's
funnier
behavior.
if you don't force it.
Yeah, if you force it, you might poop your pants. You don't want to be a baby like Walter. And then she kind of like covers her mouth because she said poop your pants in front of grown-ups, and she tries to look more dignified.
I'll help Rose out and change the subject and be
Okay.
like, Rose, do you know you have a maid that works in the house?
Yep, Anna.
Anna. But is there a reason Anna would be sad or possibly wanting to kiss people?
As you say that, the door that was left open closes by itself. The children don't seem to notice. But I would say, Eric, you and Matthew and Mackenzie, it's right behind you. You probably jump a little bit.
The fuck?
Rose says, "I shouldn't really talk about that sort of stuff.
Oh, sorry.
It's not really a dignified thing to share with company."
Darius hasn't been saying anything this whole time, but as he's just looking at these kids, like, what's the style and quality of their clothes?
Help me, I'm not the only one that heard.
Thorn says, "There he goes again. He's always crying until he's not." You guys hear it coming from this doorway. All of you hear it. I wish he would stop. He cries all the time till he doesn't.
Rose, Thorn, who normally takes care of the baby?
"Oh, Anna takes care of the baby," says Rose.
I'll follow Jack since I'm so close.
Sure.
Whichever one.
It's coming from
direct-
up the stairs.
Okay.
"I'm sorry," Rose says. He cries so much till he doesn't. You head up the stairs. The stairs that you are taking are choked with cobwebs and dust. The wood is not maintained. Everything is sort of aged and spotted with mold. The door at the top of the stairs is locked.
I'm gonna regret this, but I'm gonna taste the cobwebs to see if they're like strips, like sponge sugar?
Reed, you're gonna taste the. Okay. Yeah, you're pretty sure that's real cobwebs.
Oh, not fake.
I try to get the door open.
Oh, give me an athletics check. All right, the door flies open, and as the door flies open, you hear the baby stop crying, and you hear sort of a woman shushing a baby, and it's coming from your bedroom. But it's worth mentioning that everything upstairs is really fucked up looking right now. I mean, yeah, like the suits of armor are rusted and limply hanging in their stands. The carpet is covered in mold. Everything is ancient and old, decrepit and decayed.
I look at Reed.
And I hadn't seen the this before, so I guess I didn't know what it looked like earlier. But
Oh, you haven't been upstairs yet, right?
oh, I never went upstairs. But I do call out to Anna. Anna.
Okay. A voice calls from the bedroom and says, "Shh, shh! I finally got him to stop. Hush."
Anna.
And Reed, you see Anna, and she is holding swaddling cloth that is roughly shaped like a baby.
I just whisper, "Is that Walter?"
Yes, it's Walter. He's very fussy. He's so beautiful, though.
I kind of look back at Jack and say, "Do you want to join us for dinner?"
Oh, let me put a group camera so you guys can see what's happening. There. My bad. There you go. As you guys can see, things have gotten a little decrepit. And she says, "He's sorry. He's always so fussy till he's not."
So knowing that I believe she tried to attack me earlier and also kiss me, I don't step too close to Anna. But I do warn Jack that
She sort of paces the room, kind of like, holding him and just gently, cooing to him. She seems really into this baby.
this
Like,
woman is
if you didn't
very
know any
committed.
better, she treats this baby like it's her own baby.
Interesting.
And she doesn't seem aware that the whole house is ancient, decrepit, and just choked with mold and cobwebs.
Anna, do you know where the master and mistress are?
Oh, they're probably downstairs. This time of day, they entertain their guests downstairs.
Rose mentioned they have, or maybe it was Anna that mentioned this, they have parties.
Yes.
Is this one such, like, is this one of their parties?
I don't know if they have parties or not, but they have many people who come to participate.
I look over at Jack and let him take the lead. I'm a little creeped out.
Anything peculiar about this lady besides her old-fashioned dress?
I mean, she's holding this baby. The baby is very still, Jack. As a medical professional, you have concerns about just how quiet and still that baby is.
I guess I will approach.
Okay.
And
She is nervous as you approach, and she clutches the baby close to her.
tell her it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay, Anna. He's, I assume I know Jack's a nurse by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's okay, Anna. He's a nurse.
Oh. She shows you the baby. The baby is quite dead.
And this doesn't seem to register with her.
No.
The baby that was just crying its head off. Yeah.
Right. I will come over to Reed.
Very sleepy.
Say, we should probably go because that kid is. This is a whisper. this kid is not alive, and we should probably get a hold of the police.
I at that nod and concur.
And I'll tell Anna we're gonna go talk to the others. Okay.
Oh, Mr. Sterling, I haven't had time to turn down your sofa, but don't worry, I'll get to it soon. Now that he's settled down.
Oh, that's quite all right. You can just stay up here with the children, and I'll take care of it.
The children?
Rose and Thorn.
Oh, they shouldn't be a bother. They're upstairs. They're not allowed to leave the attic.
They're downstairs eating dinner with us.
Oh, well, that just can't be happening. That would be impossible.
And I'd look up. I mean, do I hear any sort of creaks or movement up from upstairs?
Nope.
Okay.
If the master found out, they'd be cross with him. And with me.
Oh, well, perhaps I'm mistaken. And I withdraw and quickly close the door.
Okay.
Yeah, that kid's dead. We need to get out of here.
Yeah.
All right, so downstairs, the kids continue to eat, and as soon as the baby stops crying, they both look so relieved. So relieved, in fact, that Rose, a tear kind of wells in her eyes, and Thorn just lets out an exasperated, just satisfied.
Dare's kind of looking at these two kids. What's the quality of their clothes and stuff like that?
Yeah, they're wearing fine clothes as if they were from a Victorian Sense and Sensibility kind of movie or show.
I mean, even though I'm
downtown Abbey vibes, downtown Abbey vibes.
Yeah, even if I'm not trained in insight, I think he's something's not right that these kids were this ravenously hungry in such a nice ass house.
Eric was going to bring that up, but...
So, Thorn says, so, Chef, did you make any desserts? Like pudding or something?
No, I did not.
Oh.
Didn't really
I'm
have the
really
resources.
hungry. I'm really hungry!
This...
Rose tells him, Shush, you're being rude. He says, I don't care, I'm hungry! And he starts stuffing his face with nearby unattended bread, even stealing Adrian's half-eaten roll. Adrian does the hands up gesture, I'm not touching, I'm not getting involved. Looking out the window, Tiernan, you see that a dense fog has showed up. I can't turn the fog on because I've tested it, and it will break your browsers if I turn it on. But imagine, if you will, that the fog is so dense and so thick that you can barely see out the window.
I go over and look out the window a little more closely.
Yeah. As you look out the window, you hear something in the fog outside. It sounds like a very large mammal of some sort.
Do we all hear that?
No, we
yes.
definitely hear that.
Yeah.
Tiernan, you might have been the only one that heard the sound outside, but everyone, you hear those sobs, and they seem to be coming from beyond these doors.
Wait, we just left Anna upstairs.
Who's Anna?
Seems like maybe that bear is outside. I don't know. Be careful going near the windows. It's the fog too. I don't remember seeing anything about a fog like this in the forecast.
Orn says, my father and his friends, they hunt bears and wolves. There's a lot of wolves in this area.
That must be what had injured the moose.
No way. Those claw marks, those were much too large to be a wolf.
A bear then?
Maybe. I can't think of anything bigger than a bear in these parts.
Reed will look at go to Rose and Thorn and ask, "Do you have a bedroom on the third floor?"
Ooh, all right. Anybody that would like can give me an insight check when you ask her about her bedroom.
Do we have to be proficient or just?
No, you don't have to be proficient. You just try your
Okay.
best if you're interested. If you don't feel like your character would give a shit about what these kids have to say, then you don't have to roll. Eric and Darius, and Tiernan, and Reed, but not Jack. She looks so mad when you ask her about that. And she says, "We had a nice room, but Father gave it to Anna. Now we have to sleep in the attic."
And you don't like that?
No! The attic room is small, and it's cold, and it's moldy.
And was that because of
And
Walter
Thorn says,
coming?
"And we're never allowed to leave it."
Should we
Never.
call child services?
And Rose says, "Hush, it's none of their business. We don't know if they'll tell Father." And
Reed.
Thorn has a mischievous look on his face, and he says, But Rose, we didn't break the rules, because technically we're still there."
Okay.
okay. I guess it doesn't warrant an inside check, but that's creepy.
I mean, whatever you feel is creepy for sure. Yeah.
I look at Jack and say, "What about Walter, Jack?"
I have to report that.
And I pull up my phone and check, and I'm assuming no bars.
No bars.
Rose, they had phones in Downton Abbey days, right? Does your dad have
We have a phone. It's in
A phone.
Father's office. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And did you guys see the office upstairs? Asking, through the group.
Was the office the one when you
Near
just
the
come
library at the top of the stairs. Yep.
out? Okay, I think that's where Darius and Mackenzie were thinking of sleeping in.
Okay.
Mackenzie, did you check the phone by chance? Does it work?
Nobody checked the phone, but it looked like an old-timey, like, vintage phone, like a restored vintage phone,
Yeah.
like a rotary deal. But it did look like it was wired.
All right. I'm very obviously not going to volunteer to go up alone.
Do you want me to go?
Well, I mean, I guess Jack and I saw it. I guess we should go report it. Very hint, Jack.
The phone is where?
It's up in the library.
Okay.
Mackenzie would accompany you guys, and I guess Darius will follow.
Yeah, tell Dana to follow me.
And I'll just motion for Adrian just to sit tight.
Okay. Adrian grabs your hand and squeezes it. And we are over time, but I wanted to kind of get a little bit more playtime in because we we have the session 0 and stuff. We can play a few more minutes, but I don't want to keep everybody too long. Or if you guys think this is a good stopping place, right as you're about to open the doors to explore the rest of the house, we can stop here.
I can keep going. Anyone
I
else?
can
Little
keep
bit,
going
little
for a
bit. Okay. As long as no one has any pressing business, we'll go a couple. All right. So Matthew goes up to you, Darius, and he says, "Hey, should we just go? Like, I don't want to be here if they're calling the police. I don't want to be involved in all this. Like, we could just get the car, just head back down the mountain."
Darius kind of looks at.
Sorry. I'm learning all the characters. He runs up to Eric. Sorry, and says that.
There's no problem.
No problem.
Yeah, look. We'll call child services. We'll let them know
Child
what's
services?
going on. We're just letting them know what's going on, okay? That's it.
All right. So he was gonna follow you.
Mackenzie, are you trying to open the door, or do
Mackenzie is a companion. She will not open the door.
I mean, you could. We're all learning, everybody. It's fine.
Well, so I mean, she's in front of the door, so I was going to assume she was going to open it.
Oh.
I can push her out of the way. I just.
All right. Jack, give me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, again.
Oh, man.
No.
All right. You slip. There's apparently some water that's dripped down from the second floor. You land hard on the marble, taking a point of damage.
With my +0 to medical, I will look at him and see if there's anything I can do to help.
I'm
Okay.
fine. I'm fine.
All right, I'll help him back to his feet and say, happens to all of us.
He's a little embarrassed, but that's his thanks. And let's go.
Reed will follow and hold on to the rail.
All right. Oh, I gotta collect all these cameramans. Yeah.
Where was it?
I think it's the second door on your left.
It's locked.
Okay. Somebody says, Dana says, just try the next one then.
All right, this one seems to be open already.
All right. So if you have, I guess, a light on your phone that you're using, you can go ahead and sort of turn on the torch for your MIDI so that you can see better, because you're noticing that the lights seem to be going, have gone out. As you walk into the study, you didn't see a phone. You see inside the room, everything is broken, ancient, decrepit. The footlocker is still there. The chair is there. The fire is out. The desk is covered in cobwebs. And there is a huge blood stain in the middle of the room that leads towards the north wall of the room, where you can see that there is a paneled door kind of built into the wood paneling of the wall. The blood trail seems to go under the door.
Approach and open it.
Okay. As you step into the room, Dana, the door closes behind you.
You would probably get closer to Jack.
Right?
Does the blood seem real? Reed's gonna.
Yeah, I mean, give me a medicine intelligence or a investigation intelligence.
Mackenzie can help you because now this seems like a crime scene. And
Okay.
yeah.
It is blood and it is fresh. Which nothing in this room is fresh. But your fingy comes away with like a little dollop of blood on it.
Yeah, this is not a weekend mystery type of thing.
You guys hear the door. Someone's trying to open it.
Maybe it's one of the others.
Jack, the door to the north, right here. You tried to open it, yeah?
Sure.
Okay. You find that it is locked.
This one's locked too.
I'll try the far door.
Okay. It kind of opens out onto a balcony. And as you open it, cloying mist begins to creep in through the open window. Give me a Constitution save.
Okay.
Oof. You feel like that is not good air. It immediately kind of makes your breath seize up like you're having an asthma attack.
Do I have enough energy to close the window?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll do the same.
But no mechanical things affect you, but you realize, like, that's not good air. Like, being out in that would not be a good idea.
We should warn the others if they want to go. There's something off out there.
Downstairs, Rose says, "Well, thank you for a wonderful evening. but we should probably be going. And Thorn says, yeah, thank you for a wonderful evening and delicious food.
If possible, I can still make you some dessert.
His stomach growls, but Rose says, no, we need to go. She says, but thank you for your kindness. And remember, you have to go up to go down.
It's been interesting to meet you both.
Up
All right.
to go down. Is that a riddle?
So upstairs, Darius. Yeah, there's definitely somebody trying to open this door.
Darius is gonna motion for Mackenzie to take a step back. He's gonna kind of have his guard up a little bit, and he's going to slowly reach for the door.
Okay. It is also locked. You hear something metallic clank against the door as the door kind of shakes. And then you hear another metallic clank as the door shakes. And then a third time, the door bursts open. And you see on the other side of the door is a goddamn suit of armor. And it reaches out to grab your throat. And that is where we'll end the session.
Nice.
Cool.
All right.
Cool.
So you telling me we weren't LARPing the whole time? Oh my god.
All right. Cool. So we went a little bit over, but I wanted to kind of get to a good stopping point. Hopefully, everybody had fun, and we will continue this next week. And so if you come up with any questions during the week about your character or the rules we're using or any of that, just let me know. With all of our sessions, if there's anything in the session that was too creepy or you don't want something like that again, just message me so that I know. And then, I can try to adjust as we go. I appreciate everybody's patience as, there's 5 characters and 5 NPCs just right out of nowhere as we kind of try to learn all those different characters, their interactions and stuff. I think this is a good group. I think it's going to be a good campaign. So,
Like, I'm just glad that I didn't have to wait very long to know that my rolls for every other game are going to be consistent with my rolls for this game.
Oh my god.
the fact that you keep playing D&D is it's just modern heroism right there. It's just modern heroism.
Is a tale of overcoming adversity of the dice.
I legitimately thought you died.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck?
It was a good way to show how fragile level 0 characters are with all of these rules that we're using.
Yeah, if you had hit me in the dark with Anna, I'm pretty sure I would have died.
Yeah, you didn't even see how much damage she was going to drop. So I can tell you in all sincerity that she probably would have killed you. Yeah, one hit.
Damn.
Would I open the door to a corpse?
I mean, y'all probably about to see a corpse next session with that Iron Man armor.
Whew. All right, so quick announcements. Extra Life is over-ish. There is one more Extra Life event. It is Tuesday night. DM Conti is going to finish up his tour of vanilla World of Warcraft dungeons. I will be playing in that. Remy will be playing in that. A couple of Warcraft bros will be playing in that. And it's cheat mode is enabled. We have stupidly strong items. We have the ability to cheat dice rolls. The monsters can cheat as well. If you still got some donation money burning a hole in your pocket, you want to help out, you are invited to donate to either help the heroes or the monsters, or just hang out and watch the stream. And that's going to be happening on Tuesday night. That will be the last official Extra Life thing of the year. Our team managed to raise $5,500 already. I myself hit my own personal goal, so I'm very happy about that. Overall, just a great and profitable for charity Extra Life. A lot of different games, lot of new people we got to meet. People got to play D&D with people maybe they never gotten to before on the server. Overall, I'm going to say that having a 3-day convention was a huge success. But I missed running the 25-hour marathon quite a bit, so I will definitely be adjusting my lifestyle accordingly to be able to run it again next year. So I'll take that 1 year break, but we'll be back to me running one. There might even be 2. We're kind of working on something like 2 simultaneous marathons. We'll see how it goes. Other than that, your guys' game has started. The sister brother game to this game happens on Thursday nights. They have started. The beginning is similar. It's already a little different. I had different spooky things that could happen on your way to the house that I kind of rolled on a table for. And then you will, of course, immediately have the opportunity to go in completely different directions once you make it into the campaign proper, because the whole thing is a sandbox. And I am not really going to tell you where you should and shouldn't go. You can kind of get that information from the locals, as it were. But I'm curious to see just how different the 2 campaigns end up from each other.
Just have to make it through the tutorial mission.
Yeah. So this dungeon, Death House, is notorious for TPKs and player deaths. It turns a lot of people off from even playing Curse of Strahd. To the point that many groups are advised to skip this dungeon altogether. But we're not. We're going to get the full experience. So just going to keep that in mind, that this is a very dangerous dungeon, and it is very deadly. And you're going to want to play smart if you want to live. What else is going on? Mythic Odyssey tonight. We took a break last week to do extra life stuff, so we're returning to the Isle of Themis tonight. Tomorrow, Odyssey Prime continues. They're doing some planeswalking. Can't talk about it too much because spoilers. Tuesday, we got WoW. Wednesday, we continue monster hunting. Thursday, Curse of Strahd continues. And Friday, Dom and I will be doing our vodcast. Saturday, more Red Hand of Doom. This time without donations. So, if you didn't see the session yesterday, it was 3 hours of edging a TPK. It was very rough. It was very rough. Yeah, it was going to be a very sad and unprofessional way for me to have a campaign end too early. But fortunately, somehow, it all worked out in the end. And then Sunday, we'll be back here. So that's what our week is looking like. Anybody have any announcements of their own they want to make before we adjourn?
No announcements other than just
want to say great start.
Yeah. Looking forward to playing with you guys, and hopefully we survive. Fingers crossed.
Shoot, looking forward to playing my companion character starting sometime middle of session next week.
Oh, so yeah, so just to confirm, everyone's companion is their backup character, right? that was what
Now, this is November time. So it is holidays and whatnot are going to be kind of rearing their ugly heads. So while I have everybody here, while we're already over time, let me pop up my calendar real quick. The other group is already going to fall a day behind because Thursdays are cursed. So we're not going to play on Thanksgiving. For you guys, the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend feels like fair game, right? Everybody okay with playing the Sunday the 27th?
I think I'm good.
Does anybody really celebrate Thanksgiving anymore besides cursory meal and shopping? I don't know. All right, so then we go into December, and there is apparently something called Christmas Day is happening on the 25th. So we will not be playing on Christmas Day. My family, well, the family I live with, my wife and my kid and I, we are not Christians. We still celebrate like Yule and stuff like that. And then our actual family celebrates Christmas. So, we're taking the day for the holiday or whatever. And then I think that would be it. We're just going to be out for Christmas.
There's New Year's Day, but
no one party too much on the 31st, or you're not going to like playing early on the 1st.
Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be user beware. As far as we'll definitely play on the first of the year for sure. So I don't know. If you're feeling rough, I don't know, hair of the dog or something, it should be fine.
But yeah, the 25th off sounds good to me too. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's not negotiable. So we're not gonna play. Yeah, but any games that I cancel for scheduling, of course, I refund them. So you don't worry about that. All right, cool. Then I hope everybody has a safe and healthy week. If you have any questions, hit me up on Discord, and I'll just see you around Discord.
Hey, thanks again, Crash. It was awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
All right.
Thanks for running.
Bye.
Take it easy, guys.
And thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next week.
Yeah.
See ya.